Well, I can tell you, if a dog hasn't defecated right outside of your work area today, you're having a better day than me. Because apparently unsupervised animals are a thing now here at Odyssey. Rico, you missed it. David didn't because we watched it happen live. Every turd.
You are looking live.
You are looking live at defecation. I'm sorry. There's.
Get it out.
Nope. No.
Come on, get it all out.
Let's just get to it.
Let's just get it all
No,
out.
because if I aired all of my grievances with this work environment, we'd be here past 6.
Okay.
So why don't we're on to Cincinnati. I wanted to cheer the people up. Has anyone taken a dump outside of your office today? No? Hashtag blessed.
248.
That's where we're at. Hey, have you shared a sink with another adult? I have today. Only one working soap dispenser. David, it was a joy washing hands right with you. So let's get to it. What?
I was going to say, is that where Heather got that from this morning?
I don't know. I don't know. Let's dive in.
All right.
Kenny, the wings are effed. No, I'm kidding. Listen, okay, we're near the deadline. Rico wants to do his little song and dance here. Now, I know they got destroyed again last night. I know. I was a dumbass and stayed up, and hell, even at 4-2, I was giving them a shot. The most dangerous lead in hockey is the 2-goal lead. It's scary. 5-2. Good night. 6-7. I didn't see 6 or 7. I treated goal 6 and 7 like the MSU game. Didn't bother. So I just...
Yeah, I finally, I think I checked out at 6. I was like...
God, you're doing the Lord's work if you stayed up to see 6. But let's talk.
Well, because the inner Kenny said, don't give up on this team.
I know, buddy.
So, okay, 3-2. Yeah, all right. It's not that insurmountable. You come back, tie this thing. Okay, 4-2. Okay, you know what? It's not over. Maybe
it's
we
over.
Get a penalty.
It's over.
It's 5-2.
Look, what I'm not going to do is overreact. If they lost to Arizona, or if we're sitting here Monday and they've lost 5 in a row, it's a different tenor. I think Vegas is on the other side of Arizona. Larkin's hurt. The team has gotten drilled here now a couple times in a row, but I understand they're tied with Tampa. I understand that the once 9-point barrier to playoffs has evaporated, but I'm not willing to change my stance. They're a playoff team. But
so
here's
the next 2 games is pretty much the barometer for you?
Yeah. I mean, as long as they, look, go beat the Coyotes on a back-to-back. Go beat them. I mean, you're playing at a high school rink.
You still at car flag at 4?
Yeah, I think they're going to win and be dangerous, and I think Larkin coming back obviously will be critical to that. But here's where I have changed. I don't think they're doing anything at the deadline. I think the best you're going to get as a fan is they trade one of the defensemen you don't like, Petrie, Hull, whatever. Bring up Evanson. It'll be sold that was their move. And in fact, it might be true because Evanson, in the minds of many hockey people, is already far superior to some of these players. So it just, I would look to you. I would look to Kenny. David will get to a 3 because David has to now give me credit for something I told him was going to happen.
But I realize it's year 5 of the Iser plan. Yeah, this team's, I know. In hockey, you make the playoffs, anything can happen. But realistically speaking, I don't see a Stanley Cup with this team.
Oh, correct.
So do you need to go out there and just sell the future and say, okay, we're going to make this rush? Or, you know what? Let's just make the playoffs. And if we happen to go in the first round and lose, you now have playoff experience for all your young guys. Because if that's the case, then I almost agree with you don't really need to make a move of any. Just ride with these young guys, and let's see how far they could take you.
I don't want to play the role of the dog outside of our cubicle today, but allow me a moment to squat. The problem is the market. You're seeing first-round picks for rentals. I'm not comfortable with the pricing. And what I don't want Yzerman to do is anything irresponsible. I mean, I want to win as much as anybody. And I want to have those playoff drives. A, we have a business to run, and B, it's just fun. But Rico, the pricing, and Kenny, I would welcome you in on this if you disagree or think I'm being inaccurate. It seems to be a very ritzy cost of entry here, and I don't want to do that because I don't think anyone they get is going to propel them all of a sudden. Like, this isn't 2002. I'm not trading for Brett Hull at the deadline. Kenny, please.
Yeah, a lot of these moves, the bigger ones, have been pricier, but we've seen a lot of like C-, D+ types of trades happen in the last, say, 48 hours.
And none of those, to me, move the needle.
No, but what could move the needle a little bit is if you made one of those D- trades with one of your players, like a Justin Hall, who is not producing here. You get rid of him. Now you have a roster spot to bring up Edvinson. Exactly. I think that should be the goal moving forward before 3 o'clock.
Kenny, my belief is that's the only move you could hope for. I don't think you're going to do nothing else. And the team, unfortunately, with Larkin getting hurt and with the team dumping 3 straight games since they put the garbage patch, kid patch on their thing, I don't know. I mean, not all the steam out of winning 5-6 in a row is gone, but a lot of it is. You can't go out in a playoff push in the highly competitive East and just dump 3 games in a row. And they've largely been awful. I mean, Kenny, I hate to use mean words. They've been awful.
No, and this is their get-right spot against Arizona. Arizona plays tonight, so they're going to play a back-to-back tomorrow against the Wings.
Got to win it.
They're dreadful. You're going to see a lot of Wings fans in that barn that they have over there, that college dump.
One Rico Beard may be at the game.
Yeah, he said something about that. Are you going to go to that?
Rico on his travails.
Wow. You could be the thing that turns this all around, Rico.
That's right. But I would like to talk to the people here. Look, Rico's deal still stands. Our car flag meter of confidence, the trade deadline, all of it. It just, where are you at with this team? I'm not going to overreact. I still think they're a playoff team. Yeah. I still think they're going to get in. I still think they'll be dangerous.
Are you willing to downgrade your car flag status? A lot of people had it at 4.
I'll stay
at 4. Some people were saying at 5.
Yeah, I'll stay at 4. That's where I'm at.
Now you've hit a rough patch. 248-539-9797.
But the other angle is I can't yell and scream about Yzerman having to do something. I think they're a playoff team, and I would need to know a name of a player that by way of me getting them, it now enters me into a Stanley Cup window. See, I don't think that player's out there. And certainly not at a cost anyone would want to hear about. I think this summer is where I will begin to stand on a soapbox and go, okay.
For next season.
Bold summer now. Because it'll be, next year, Kasper's up. Edvinson is up. You're going to have this thing set off presumably a playoff year. Yeah, I want a bold summer. That cap space better go to use. Free agency, trade, you name it. But the deadline here, I don't know, Rico.
So okay.
But I don't think we're getting our boy Gudis either.
I was going to say, who is still out there? My cousin from the woods,
That's
Radko Gudis.
Radko Gudis. I'd love it, Kenny. But let's be real. It's a fun radio bit. I don't think Gudis upgrades you into all of a sudden we're going to make a deep run. That's come on. We got to be fair.
No, it doesn't do that.
We got to be fair.
It's a depth defenseman. That's what that
That's
is.
right. And he's got a great beard and a bad disposition, and I like all of that.
So am I oversimplifying saying kind of reminds me of what we said about the Lions last year? Let's make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Make the playoffs. Hopefully you get a home game, but you needed to make the playoffs. And now that they've done that, okay, now you got to make moves to win it all.
Yes.
So this is the Wings just make the playoffs year, and you're saying off season.
Yes.
That's when you go and make moves for the cup.
And maybe I'm wrong. I just view it in sports like hockey, basketball, like football, it's 60 minutes. Anything can happen. Weird shaped football wrapped in pig guts. Hockey, you got to win a 7-game series. That's as Lomas famously said. That's a lot. Versus a one and done, couple of bad bounces, or somebody blows their leg up.
Right.
But I'm not going to panic. I know it's hard to look at when you've been outscored 11-2 your last 2 games. I know but again, let's be fair. You beat Colorado here, you lose at their place. If I told you you'd split with them, you'd take it. Right. Florida might be the best team in hockey. All right, they drilled you 4-0.
You just happen to play Florida and Colorado back to back.
Exactly. So I'm trying to just be on an even keel with it.
People were flying high that, hey, the Wings,
I know
we could do this. So we had some people saying they were at 5 car flags. Have you downgraded your car flags?
I'm still confident they're going to make the playoffs. And I'm still confident they're going to be frisky, if you will. But that's as far as I'll go. And I'm not going to yell and scream about the trade deadline. I can't. There's no player. Kenny, who would be a player that has been remotely discussed as available that would in a big way move the needle and change what we think about this hockey team? I don't know that player exists.
I think there's an argument for Jake Gensel. He's a middle six forward, point of game type of guy. He would elevate your team to, yes, where for sure we could win a playoff round. But beyond that, and I haven't heard the Wings' name mentioned with him, nor should they probably be, because that's a price tag. That's going to be a pricey player to pick up. Beyond that, no, I don't see one.
Okay, so then you sit tight. I think it's pretty clear they want to create a space to bring up a stud prospect in Evanson. Size, second pairing guy. Outside of that, I don't think we're getting anything. I wish we were for sizzle purposes, but I can't be mad at Yzerman. I can't demand something that may not exist because these prices, some of these deals, these teams are throwing around picks like candy.
Right, and just the fact that, I mean, like it or not, this just doesn't look like a team that'll win the cup, so there's no need to go crazy.
I think but here's my question. Year 5 of the Yzer plan is making the playoffs, and let's say they have a untimely ass kicking in the first round. Does that give everyone good vibes? Like, is that enough? See, I have a hard time being mad if people say not quite. That making it and not being competitive, or like you talked about it. Hey, man, you're going to win the couple of home games. You're going to get to a game 6. I think a lot of my satisfaction, the playoffs is minimum. They don't make the playoffs. We have every right to criticize Steve Yzerman no matter how much it may upset people. If they make it, the satisfaction from making it is really based on the competitive nature of the series.
And that's what I said. Yeah, if you, going back to the old deal, you make the playoffs, you lose in 6, you win 2 games here at the LCA, and the games that you lose are 1-point games. So they're tight games. You just didn't get the puck luck. Didn't work for you. You're out 4 games to 2. But you made the playoffs. You made a strong push. Every game was competitive, and you won 2 games downtown Detroit.
See, but my dream for this team going into the season was winning a playoff series.
It wasn't Russell Wilson?
No, that's what my dream was. And, sure, I'm not a hockey nista like Kenny, so I don't know names, but I expected the Wings to make a move that put them in that spot to win that playoff series. And I don't see it. All the reports I'm seeing is cutting salary. To me, that's just not acceptable. That's not enough as a fan. That doesn't give me my dream. It doesn't give me what I wanted.
Or you make the playoffs, and next, as Mike said, over the summer, you make the push to go for the cup. This year, playoff. Next year, cup. It's a gradual process. David, you saw it with your Wolverines in football. Heck, Harbaugh took him 7 years, but once he finally got it rolling, it was rolling.
Once you started cheating and then you built upon that cheating, you really got some velocity and got it going, David.
Yeah, and guess what? After year 4, I was not happy with just losing to Ohio State and not winning the Big Ten.
No, you had to get your spy glasses on and really get after it. 248-539-9797. Let me go take a stroll, see if the dog took another dump around here.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right.
Whatever.
Close your eyes. Well, unless you're driving. The rest of you, close your eyes and imagine a world where you can stream your favorite entertainment easier than ever. Now open them. You're in that world, a world of Xfinity 10G network, a network made for streaming all your favorites. Forget about the hassle. With a reliable connection, you can sit back, relax, and enjoy shows or movies or live events. You know you're using your ears right now, but hopefully we've opened your eyes to the fact that the best way to stream is on Xfinity 10G network. Introducing the best value in live TV and streaming the best network with Xfinity Internet and Now TV. And now through March 21st, get Xfinity Internet for $20 a month, 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, add Now TV with Peacock Premium, a $5.99 monthly value included at no extra cost for just $20 a month. You need to switch today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with a stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Now TV requires Xfinity Internet. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Stream Top Chef on Peacock.
Oh, hey. Hi, everybody. America's favorite place to watch football, Stadium Swim. Any sport, for that matter. Stadium Swim at Circa Las Vegas. 6 pools, 3 levels, biggest outdoor sports book on the planet. Reserve your seats today and book at circalasvegas.com. That's circalasvegas.com. All right, Wings get their ass kicked again, and we're just asking the question about confidence levels, the deadline looming. I don't see how anybody could be all upset if they don't make a move. I think it's pretty clear. They're probably a playoff team. They could be frisky in round 1, but they're not ready yet. They're not ready for the big push. And really, if you're going to get all upset about the Yzerman thing, I would need to hear a legitimate trade candidate that would move the needle. You don't just make deals to make deals. You know, you're not doing busy work like a lot of people in this building. You're just going to do things that are impactful. You know, he's the steward of the franchise. And I think if they miss the playoffs, he deserves every bit of heat that comes his way. I'm not doing the genuflect routine. As long as they make the playoffs and are remotely competitive, I think we all look at each other and go, all right, we're about to start a fun 3 or 4 years here. But, guys, I don't know what trade they're supposed to make. And I'm not going to freak out about a couple of games. Yeah, Florida might be the best team in hockey.
A couple of games that you probably should have lost. Let's just call it what it is.
Now, beat Phoenix or Arizona, whatever they're called this week. And then, yeah, I mean, obviously, it'd be great to beat the Golden Knights and kind of get back on track and put a few wins back together. But I'm just staying calm with it. Maybe I'm an idiot. David, what do you have for everybody?
Yzerman took over the worst roster in hockey with the worst farm system in the league. We have increased points every year and now have a war chest. I'm expecting to make the playoffs, but no more than that.
Yeah, I'm kind of with it, but I'll be honest with you. I'm getting tired of hearing about taking over the worst team in the league and all that stuff. Guys, it's 5 years in. You got to let go at some point. That's like when people would blame Matt Millen 5 years later. Like, you got to let go at some point now. They got to make the playoffs. I don't think that's unfair.
If Evanson is far superior to several defensemen on the Wings, how is he not up already?
Because they don't have roster room and they have signed players with term. This is me being Kenny. Kenny, is that the appropriate Hockey Elite answer?
That is correct. A+. They're blocking him.
My man, pots and pans. Thank you, Kenneth.
Another one for you, though, Kenny. Guys, why weren't the Wings all in on Noah Hannafin? It shouldn't be acceptable for the Wings to stand pat.
It was a first, that was a third. I believe a 5th rounder was involved in that trade, too. I don't know, man. That's a little rich for my blood. For a guy who might not even extend here.
Right. It's pricing, guys. You're giving up 3-4 draft picks or 3 players and a player for a guy who may not re-sign here. And no offense, but Noah Hannafin, nice player. Guys, don't make it out like you're trading for Paul Kariya in his prime here. All right? Like, you gotta look at this through a little bit different of a lens.
Has a dog come up to your cubicle?
Right.
I'm at a loss. If a loss at Arizona away from a mental breakdown, they have to win that game tomorrow. Otherwise, it's over. Wings' problems is coaching. Florida, Colorado forwards play tight checking D first, then offense. No Dan is going to change that. Mike in Toledo.
They also have twice the amount of talent the Red Wings. These are Stanley Cup built teams. There's only so much coaching can do to, get around.
Right. I'm going to be the first person to tell you that if you were sitting there and you weren't tied for the wild card, but you were tied for the Presidents. I mean, you are a wagon. You don't think I'm getting on the air and saying, take that first round pick, launch it out of a cannon, and go get me a rental? Of course I am. Even a hockey neophyte as myself, if you have a general understanding of sports, you know you're not going crazy. Look, we talked during football season. All right, let's make this a football comparative. When I wanted the Lions to make a trade, first of all, Chase Young was free. A compensatory, I'm going to deal you a third, and I'll get the comp pick back when he signs. No harm, no foul. The Montez Sweat thing, because of the rules of the NFL, you trading for him would have made it real hard for him to leave. It was always about I'll give up the pick because I'm going to lace him with a 4-year, $90 million deal. Those scenarios do not exist here in this sport for this team. It's different.
Guys, aren't we basically talking about last year again with the Wings? I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. They're headed downward starting tomorrow.
Then all the criticism in the world needs to be placed at Yzerman's desk.
So
But I'm going to lay here. Dude, shout out John Jansen. I'm going to let it play.
So that's somebody who's probably downgraded from a 4 to a 3.
Well, last year at this time, we weren't even close to being in the playoffs. Our goal differential was in the toilet. Right now, it's the opposite. We still hold the first wild card spot. I think we're at a plus 17 or 18 goal differential. This is a way better team than
Correct.
last year.
It's not even comparable.
No.
Last year was a little bit of a fantasy, and it got quickly dashed. Let's go to Ryan, 97.1. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, gentlemen, good afternoon.
How are you?
Things are, yes, sir, doing quite well. I appreciate the time. From my experience as a hockey player, I've broken my jaw, love the game very much. There's nothing to watch here in Chicago. That team is, you're talking about the toilet, that's the toilet right there. Detroit Red Wings hockey. You know what? That game was very entertaining until a defenseman, I'm not sure his name, took that penalty in retaliation. It was a 1-goal game. Wings were about to go up on the power play. I would sit him the next game and make a statement and say, if I was the coach, and say, you know what? You don't want to win hockey games. You can't take a cross check to the face. You need to sit down.
Kenneth, your response to hockey guy.
I don't know, man. I think that's a bit aggressive. I mean, we are not built like the Florida Panthers right now. A lot of guys aren't taking cross checks to the face. If you want to say we need somebody to protect Dylan Larkin or something like that, then yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, I think there's a look. Unfortunately, the way it used to be, those days are gone. The NHL has done everything in a willful manner to get rid of enforcers. Yeah. So, do you need to play with more of a physical edge if you're going to win a Stanley Cup? Probably. Is that the type of thing we need to start looking for as we move forward? Yeah. I mean, all jokes aside, it's why Kenny brought up his man Gudis. Dude's got a bad attitude and a great beard. But no, I just don't think you're going to goon it up. That's those days are gone. They've been gone for 15 years. Let's go over to Nick, 97.1. Nick, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, guys. I appreciate the call. You guys got a great show.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, I could honestly make an argument probably with Kenny that the Yzer plan's A-okay. We're probably on year 3 or 4, but I'm not going to do that. His goal was to make the playoffs in 5 years. We're at our 5th year. His goal was to make the playoffs in 5 years. He did inherit a bad roster. I know we don't want to talk about it, Mike, but
no, it's okay. No, Nick, hold on, slow down. I'm not mad, and I'm not saying like
it's a fact, but you don't have to use it as a crutch.
Yes, like Nick, you're fine in the way you said it. What I don't like is where any criticism or conversation, you immediately get the Steve bots who use it as like a SWAT team shield.
Crutch.
You know what I mean? Like there's a middle ground, and you're in it, so you're good.
Totally get it, and it was maybe Kenny has a stat, hopefully near him, but 5 years ago, Yzerman got hired in a little later, and then we were the first team or the second team behind Pittsburgh that had the most players with a no-trade clause. People forget that. So Yzerman had to get rid of 9 players, I think. Also, Franzen contract to free up a bunch of room, and now it seems like he's got 12 picks for next year's draft. Jesus. Mm-hmm. But the point is, he had to inherit, I guess, an economic downfall for them, but his goal is to make the playoffs in 5 years. So if he makes the playoffs this year, great. If not, then, obviously we can be a little disappointed. But right now, we're on track, and we got the number 2 prospects in the last 3 years, number 2 prospect
and you know what,
list.
Nick, it'll be something where I think this summer, hopefully you call the show, I think Yzerman will begin to ratchet up the aggression in the summer, draft, trade, free agency, and that's where I think they take the next step. Right here, right now, just get in. Get in. Let's be able to go, all right, bare minimum, it's not a failure. Right. What they do after that is what joy you get out of it or not. But yeah, I wish I could yell and scream about trades. I can't do it. Get ready. Get green. Stay green with Natural Way. It's Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service. Limited time only. You purchase a full lawn program, you receive free grub control. But remember, you got to mention my name or the station or anything of that sort. If you wait until you see the problems, it's largely too late to fix them, quite frankly. So let Natural Way get out. Do a custom tailored application to your lawn and professionals doing it. Certified. Natural Way also offers pest control services with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. So visit naturalwaylawn.com for all your lawn care. 888-GET-GREEN. That's 888-GET-GREEN or simply 888-GET-GREEN, whatever works for you. It's Natural Way Lawn and Tree Service. All right, hit the music. Let's get some football on the brain. David?
Well, let's start with Saquon Barkley.
No. You don't get to do that because Rico and I want to ask you something. After weeks of you serving up the poo-poo platter, every time I've tried to tell you, David, I'm telling you, Russell Wilson and the Steelers is a thing. And you called me a heathen, a non-believer. You told me I was going to hell. Well, now today, reports validate what I have been saying, and Rico, to his credit, has backed me. David, are you ready for a danger witch all up in your mouth?
I rebuke you, Satan. I do
The Pimani's version?
Oh, please, no, Atlanta,
Come
take
on.
them.
No.
Minnesota, take them.
Russell Wilson is a Steeler. What is your reaction?
My reaction is...
And he'll bring Sierra.
My reaction is just have her sing in place of him playing. I'll take that instead. It upsets me. It really pains me because I thought the Steelers were a real organization. I thought they cared about winning. Instead, they care about just pacifying the ownership and just, he's upset that we're not winning, and then you go out there and get this guy. This is the veteran quarterback. Whatever.
David, does it help? You're not going to pay him anything.
No.
And you can use that money to go and bring in other pieces.
No, doesn't matter because they won't get the free agents that is needed to make us win and help us win.
So what do you need, David?
I need them to go get Justin Fields.
Okay, you got
Make that trade.
You got the shopping cart. You're not going to get Fields. You're going to get Russell. What else do you need?
No, I want Fields. That's what I want.
What else do you need? Not what you want. What do you need?
If you give me Justin Fields, I think we have enough weapons around him, along with what we get in the draft, to start winning again.
All right.
We have a defense.
All right, sufficient. He's still in denial, and I love it. Next.
Let's go back to Saquon
Yeah, go ahead,
Barkley.
because I won't act like you. I'll give you real answers.
6 teams are linked to him. The Raiders, the Bears, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Texans, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the difference between that one. There's mutual interest from the both. He has interest in playing for them. Your thoughts?
I mean, to me, the best situation is Houston. I'm not mad at Saquon. He can do whatever he wants to do. You know, there was an opportunity to pay him. I'm glad the Giants didn't. They made a good faith offer. He decided not to take it. Howie Roseman collects stars. He's a star bleeper. So am I going to be all butthurt if he goes to Philly? No, not in the least. The guy has sat there and suffered with my garbage organization if he wants to try to make a run. But here's why I wouldn't go to Philly, David. That is potentially a very toxic place where something is amiss. I think Houston with C.J. Stroud and a good young team and a guy in D'Amico Ryans that is the opposite of Sirianni seems infinitely likable and a guy that players want to run through a wall for.
Well, I think if he goes to Houston, I think he becomes the main voice in the room right next to C.J. Stroud. They're going to lean on him because he's been in the league so long. Dave, who are the other teams?
The other teams are the Raiders, the Bears, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Texans.
So not the Cowboys.
I don't see the Cowboys on this report, but I've seen other reports.
Right, I've seen reports of the Cowboys. Saquon to the Cowboys would be interesting. For one, Mike, do you really want to see Saquon in your division? Or is it one of those where I never want to see him again? Or do you want to face him twice a year?
I don't give a damn.
Because you know it'll be personal for him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. My team's garbage.
Because if he goes to the Cowboys, that's intriguing because of everything that they have going on there. You got the passing game. You got a quarterback.
Look, I know what you two are doing, and I respect both of you. You're trying to bait me into something. It's not happening.
David?
Houston has the most money to spend. It's the best landing spot.
You know what,
I know
David?
what you want, and I'm not giving it to you.
He's still in denial. Okay, next one.
He can go where he wants to go, but can either of you argue the best football situation is the Houston Texans?
Oh, no, it is Houston.
It is Houston.
They got the money. They could actually afford to pay him what he wants to make. If he goes to those other teams, he's going to have to take a pay cut.
Think about it. You get C.J. Stroud. You get Nico Collins, Tank Dell. You get a – that's where I'm going.
And they're all under contract. So I can go there, make a ton of money, and help this team win in a bad division. Yeah. It's smart, but watch out for the other team in Dallas. The other team in Texas.
So let's stay with the Philadelphia Eagles for a quick minute because I'm seeing something here, and we look things up, and we always see when they have stories of potential trade packages for a certain player. Usually there's a rumor out there that player may get moved. Diggs in Buffalo. There's always a rumor out here that he might get dealt, or last year was Hopkins and things like that. Well, why am I seeing A.J. Brown's name being mentioned in trade packages for stories.
Because A.J. Brown, much like DK Metcalf, had a miserable season, demonstrative, angry. I got towards the end, the Eagles, I think.
Kind of like Diggs.
Yeah, A.J. Brown went like 5-6 weeks without a touchdown. Something isn't right. Now,
I don't know what happened to the Eagles, man. They just
complete toxicity.
Because I thought they were going to bounce back, but
oh, you like the reports how they tried to blame it on Dom DeSandro getting booted off the sidelines?
I was about to say that they never were the same after that Niner game. They just went into the toilet.
But no, the Diggs thing, here's what's interesting. Did you read today? Oh, Buffalo still believes Diggs is the number one receiver. I don't know what's going on, because to me, Diggs, the only time they throw him the ball, line of scrimmage. And you go, what has happened to this relationship between Allen and Diggs? I can't figure it out.
Yeah. But I know a lot of receivers play the diva role, and I don't know if it's just them playing that part, if they're truly unhappy. But, yeah, you know what? You're right. DK Metcalf hated Seattle. Like, yeah. But A.J. Brown, yeah, the Eagles are broken.
Yeah, there's something there.
We saw in the playoffs where that Tampa was the favorite. Like, you knew Tampa was going to beat them.
See, but we talk about Diggs, we talk about something being broken. Are the Buffalo Bills broken?
Yes,
because
broken.
If they start losing, they release. It felt like half their roster yesterday.
They did. They released 6 players. Tre'Davious White being gone, their safeties being gone. I told you, Patrick Mahomes, if they didn't beat him this year, the Bills as we knew it were dead.
Yeah.
There's a complete retooling that has to happen now.
They have been bad. It's been slow and debilitating, and if you haven't been paying attention, it's like, oh, well, they'll bounce back. No, they're not. Allen, to me, overrated. And, yeah, good luck with that, because if you notice, they just keep sliding down and down each year. They are the AFC Cowboys.
Yeah, they are. So we can close it out with this. I'm just going to give you 2 names that will be free agents, but what will their market be? Start with Jamal Adams and Odell Beckham Jr.
0 and 0. Both guys are losers. I mean, Jamal Adams.
I won't go with the loser part, but 0 and 0.
Oh, I will. Because the bottom line is Jamal Adams, ever since he bitched his way out of New York and complained, what has he done? Get hurt, get kicked out of games, play badly. He's a better blitzer.
Got Seattle to make a horrible trade.
He's a better blitzer than he is a safety. Well, I ain't paying you $18 million a year to rush passer. You're my strong safety. And as far as Odell, man, that one-handed grab against Cowboys was 11 years ago.
You're kidding me. Seriously?
Yeah.
He still thinks he's OBJ, but he's just Odell now.
And guess what? Oh, Lamar, I want to play with Lamar, and Lamar wants me. How'd that look in the playoff game? Goodbye.
Wait, you didn't know that he was the reason why Lamar came back to Baltimore?
Goodbye.
According to him.
They're both losers.
Yeah, I would say
I would say the market is 0 for both.
Hey, you know what, David? Speaking of wide receivers, Michael,
Yeah.
I sent you a text and a photo.
Mm-hmm.
Certain wide receiver headed to the pros was at the Breslin Center last night.
Yeah, I know.
Keon Coleman.
I don't understand it. Don't be telling me this was home. You bleeped on the floor and left the door open. Get the hell out of here. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself up there. What a collection of nonsense.
So he did what the dog did.
Yeah, that's right.
He had on a Steven Izzo jersey.
I don't care. That's all the folksy garbage you care about. 53-49. If I were Keon Coleman, I would have gone straight back to Capital City Airport at halftime.
And
Next.
that is in football today.
When it comes to an IRS collection or audit, you need a law firm that specializes in the resolution of all types of tax problems. You need Maurice and Jerry. You need Abraham and Rose. They are not a random organization. They are legitimate reps. They have brought clients before the Supreme Court. And Maurice and Jerry deal with the IRS on a daily basis. They will advocate for you. They'll fight for you and save your time and hopefully your money. So visit abrahamandrose.com today or simply call 248-539-5040. That's 248-539-5040, and you will never have to personally deal with the IRS again. All right, top of the hour. We got to talk some football, and I think every fan can relate in every sport, though. Is there a player that if they came to your team, it's just you can't root for them? Because David is really about to go there. See, for me, JJ to the Giants doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because where you went to college once you're a pro means nothing to me. It doesn't matter. I don't even have to like the players who play for my team. When you are a pro, I'm gonna root for you because I want to win. Like, it was such a dopey take. Like, I shouldn't be surprised, but it was a dopey take this morning by John and Cookies. Oh, Mike's lying. He's getting ahead. Getting ahead of what, you morons? I want to win. My team has been largely atrocious for over a decade. They could draft Satan himself. I'd root for him. No. You think my hatred of Michigan outweighs my desire to win before my dad is dead?
You're just trying to get ahead of it because you know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen? I'm going to try to win.
Setting up the audience.
Yeah, okay. You know what? Worry about your audience. My point is, I want to win. So no, it doesn't matter if I draft a player I don't like. But see, Russell Wilson's different. Russell Wilson's a known weirdo pro. Truly. Now, taking that guy on from one team where he has displayed incredibly outer space behavior. See, I get where David's going there. The college thing doesn't bother me. You haven't established yourself as a pro.
Yeah.
And largely what you do in college, it doesn't translate to the league. Like, I'm sorry, but I will be surprised if we're seeing JJ meditation clinics before Giants games. The New York Post will eat him alive. But Russell, that's a whole different ball of wax. So we're going to talk about it. And I want to see, like, look, a lot of Wings fans like that. Oh, my God, I can't believe when we got Chelios. I don't know if there are too many players you wouldn't welcome because you want to win. Mm-hmm. I'm desperate to win. I mean, Rico, pick a guy. Question. Brock Purdy tomorrow. I'd take him. Why? He's better than Daniel Jones. I hate Brock Purdy. I'll take him. Name a Cowboy. I hate him. I hate the Eagles. I'd take any of their players. I'm so desperate to win with my Giants. It doesn't matter. Which is why the morning show's take was just lazy.
Well, I got one, and I think you would probably say no for him returning. And we just talked about him in the Blitz. Odell Beckham Jr.
If it helps me win games,
see,
yes.
You know what? I'm going to say no because something happens to receivers. Once you hit diva status, you become cancerous to the team.
Agree. And what I'm saying to you is it's not about Odell. It's about he doesn't affect winning. That's why I would say no.
Right, no, but I'm saying that's why I would say no.
Oh, you mean with the Niners?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Because I would say no, because then you're going to get into that wide receiver room and you're going to be that bad apple.
Got you.
And you're going to start infecting everybody else in that room. No to him.
Right. But see, I can't say that about JJ. I've never said JJ's a bad kid. Now, I have doubts about how good he is and whether it'll work with the Giants, but I'll be damned if we don't take him at number 6. Who is my quarterback? Tyrod Taylor? Daniel Jones in a neck brace? No, you're damn right I'm fine taking him because if you don't have a quarterback, do everything in your power to get one.
Are they trying to go after Cousins?
No. Okay. There's been no reports about Fields, Cousins, any other quarterback with functioning limbs.
Do you want Russell? Would you like Russell Wilson?
Russell would be on my no-go list. He is so weird.
Please take him.
So fake, and I think his skills are declining. But we'll get to it. David, I want you to hit some of the ticket text, though. I want to see where people are at, and then we're going to get to this because I'm interested in Kenny. Are there any players in the NHL where if the Wings acquired them before the deadline, Kenny would throw up?
Mike dropping EA NHL 95 names has made this segment worth it. I'm dying over here. That is from Matt.
Listen, I used to love the NHL. I was a big Ray Ferraro guy. Benoit Hogue. Come on.
Well, let me throw this one out here. It is a trade proposal.
Derek King, Scott LaChance, Rich Pilon, Glenn Healy, Ziggy Palfy.
Glenn Healy.
What about Brett Lindros, Eric's lousy brother who had 18 concussions? I can keep going. Tommy Soderstrom, Eric Fischel.
You were a big Matt Sundin guy.
That's right. Brad Delgarno.
I thought you were a novice and new to this hockey thing.
There was a time I was hardcore about it.
He's new to this new hockey.
Due to Gudis. All right, let's go. David, go ahead.
Yeah, let me throw this trade proposal out that someone wants Kenny to give an opinion on. So who says no? Raymond, Bergeron, Hall, 2 first-round picks, 2nd-round pick, and a 3rd-round pick to Ottawa for Kachuk and Chikrin, I believe is his name.
I say no. The Red
I
Wings
say
say
no to that on
That's
surface.
awful.
But Kenny be giving up
Hey,
his son.
if the name that was about to follow what you just said was Connor McDavid, I'd say yes. I don't know what the hell this person's thinking.
Brady Kachuk and a pretty decent defenseman? Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, Kenny, these are your people.
They wanted me to ask you. They are your people. They want to know what
That's
you think.
outrageous.
Oh, my gosh. Someone else is saying Josh Allen is overrated. What are you talking about? He was the true MVP of the league, not Lamar.
And yet, when I need him in a big spot, he's nowhere to be found.
Yeah,
And oh, by the way, they were fortunate to beat the Steelers the way they did. I'm tired of treating Josh Allen like he sits at the same table as Patrick Mahomes. No. He doesn't. Josh Allen and Lamar are basically the same human with different play styles, and they are yet to prove they are winners.
Yeah. He may be good in the regular season, but when it comes to the playoffs, he's a different type of quarterback. That's not the person you want to lead you on that game-winning drive because he's already dug you in such a deep hole. You're not going to win.
But to his point, because he brings up Lamar, isn't that the thing that gets brought up with Lamar?
Right.
He's
That's
so
another
great
thing
in the
I got
regular
vilified
season.
for, yet I keep being right about it.
But that's what I said. Josh Allen fooled a lot of people. I got hip to Josh Allen years ago. People were like, no, you're over dramatic. Like, guys, he's not that good. He fits the prototype from Hollywood Central Casting, this tall quarterback, and he can do all of these different things, and he can run, and it's fun. Okay, well, what have you won?
Right now, he's a regular season quarterback. That's where I'm at with it. Now, same deal. Do I like Josh Allen? No, I do not. Would I take him as my quarterback? Yes, I would, because I have no quarterback.
Trey Lance may be available.
Huh?
Trey Lance may be available. Would you
No,
take
I
Trey
need
Lance?
someone living.
He's living.
Man, you attended his funeral. He's gone.
He's living.
Trey Lance went with Nona.
He's down in Dallas. The Big D.
He big dead. David, one more, and then we're going to get into the football.
LOL, Mike is fired up today. You guys have me dying over here.
Well, first of all, a dog taking a grumpy outside of our office here. By the way, indoors, open office concept, an unsupervised animal took a poo-poo right outside our cube. No, and then you guys filled me in on the laziness in the morning. It's like, well, why can't you just accept I don't have to like every player that plays for the Giants, but I'll root for them? And the whole principle is, if the Giants took JJ, if the Giants took Penix, if they took Bo Nick, I don't know that any of these cats are going to be any good. I'll do it because I got to win. I need a quarterback. I don't care if he went to Michigan. I don't care if it's a Buckeye. I don't care if it's a Notre Dame player. I hate all the schools.
Yeah, normally after when you graduate, you just don't have that same hatred that you do to.
I love Mario Manningham. I hated him in college, but I'll be damned. He helped me win a Super Bowl with the Giants.
Right, unless it comes back and they do something that hurts your team,
That's
and then you remember.
then.
Like all of a sudden when Jake Moody missed an extra point, I remember what school he came from. Yes, very upset.
True.
Ambry kept getting burned. I remember what school he came from.
I didn't hate Tyrone Wheatley because he went to Michigan. I hated him because he was ass. He was an awful pro. Terrible for my G-men. All right, FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook right now. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 wager. That is $150 if your bet wins. Tournaments coming up, NBA regular season in full bloom, if you will. And whether it's the SGPs, the props, straight bets, whatever you want, FanDuel.com/ticket. They got more betting markets than anyone else. It's FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA, 21 and up, present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issue. Non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms, sportsbook.fanduel.com. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117. All right, let's get to business. 3:00, and David has a situation. I don't. I think for some, if you're a real weirdo, you would. But we talked about it yesterday. I am speaking it into existence. The Giants have to take quarterback at 6, and right now it looks like it's going to be J.J. McCarthy. Unless there's like a Bo Nix or a Mike Penix ascension, J.J. would be the next kid. And whether you take him at 6 or 16, it doesn't make a difference to me. I don't have a quarterback. Now, I don't care where you went to school. It means nothing to me, as long as we're talking pros. But see, David has a different situation. According to reports, there is a mutual interest between Russell Wilson and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, that creates a bit of an issue. Russell Wilson is on a very short list of players who I loathe at such a level and have such limited respect for their game at this point that I would not take them, that it would really bother me. And you asked me earlier, Rico, you go, if the Giants acquired Russell Wilson, what's your reaction? Straight up, I'd be done. I would just not watch. I would await his retirement and resume. I can't tolerate him. I think he's a complete nutcase.
So you would take washed-up quarterback or rookie quarterback or has-been guy?
I'd take Joe Flacco for 1 year over Russell Wilson. Why? Because at least I don't hate Joe Flacco. I hate Russell Wilson. I have grown to loathe him. So my point is, if you're a fan, whether you're a Pistons fan, college basketball, I'll give you a great example. Just another example of why Cookie's opinion was so dumb this morning. I wanted Michigan State to take Hunter Dickinson. In a serious manner, I said to the man to my left last year when Hunter was hitting the portal, I said, pay him $1 million, bring him to Michigan State. Our bigs blow. Then I had to listen to this guy over here about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. How's that working? The point is, I
hope he gets drafted by your Celtics.
That's fine. As what? Water boy? Can't play? The whole
Axel
issue.
teach him. No. But the thing is,
Want to win.
right now, the Hunter thing, it was one of those kind of like that hated thing. He couldn't go to MSU. It made total sense.
Oh, yeah, we needed a big.
Right.
So here's my question. No matter what sport, what are the non-negotiable players in your life that if they washed up on the shores of your team's beach, you would be livid if you acquired them? Mm-hmm. A player that you find totally distasteful. A player where you go, I cannot root for this man. For me, there just aren't any. I want to win. My desire to win outweighs my dislike of 99.9% of players. Russell Wilson is actually...
He's the unicorn.
He is. I'll never recover from that Subway commercial. I'll never recover from when he said God talked to him after he threw the brain-dead interception. I can't work past those things.
Hey, Seattle.
Well, we got to do. It's like, oh, my Lord in heaven. 248-539-9797. Now, while Rico is ponderous about this, David, I know your thoughts of Russell. I want to go to Kenny first. It's trade deadline day. Kenny, what play, like if the Wings traded for a player and you went, oh, hell no, I hate this man.
This is a situation where I don't think that guy exists because I'm looking at guys that I hate across the league. Matthew Tkachuk, I hate that guy, but would I love to have him here? Absolutely. Brad Marchand, I can't stand that guy.
He licks people's ears.
Exactly. But if he was here, that would be awesome. All the players that I hate would be a great addition to this team.
Okay.
So no, I don't think in hockey this exists.
Because like I said, if all of a sudden like Boo Boo, he had an 8th year and you wanted to go to him, yes, don't have to deal with you anymore. I guess for me, there are a list of players, but as I like to say, they're the cancerous players. The players that they have a history. When they go to a team, the good times are over.
Well, you brought up Odell.
Odell, Kevin Durant.
You know what? That might be player number 2 for me.
Kevin Durant signing with your team means your team is done.
He's just so petulant, and I honestly think he's kind of baked. And I know he's 34 now, and Russell Wilson, Kevin Durant. There's 2. Yes. Like, if next year, let's say LeBron turned into Karl Malone the late years, and he did a buyout and he came to the Celtics, I'm rooting for LeBron. Bald or not.
If LeBron came and, him and Bronny became Pistons, like, all right, it's weird to see him in a Pistons jersey, but you'll go down there.
I would get over that. I want to win. If he's going to help bring people
if
here.
Kevin Durant came to the Pistons, you know what?
Can you get over Russell Wilson?
No, because I know he's trash. He's done. He's not going to help us win. No.
People, whether you're a Lions fan, Wings fan, Tigers, with
transfer portal now.
No problem. I love it. You're right. Right here, right now. What are the non-negotiables? Because David is swimming in some very dangerous waters with Russell Wilson possibly becoming a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Every time you say it, I shake.
You just hate to see. Roberto, do me a favor. Can you get a nice collection of awkward Wilson audio for everybody? Oh, it won't be hard to find. Just look up Mr. Unlimited. Or perhaps the time that he claims he did leg workouts on a flight to Europe while his teammates slept and he walked up and down the aisles doing lunges.
That had to be annoying.
If it happened.
Well, they were sleeping.
248-539-9797. That's yours. That's yours.
No!
That's all yours.
Pittsburgh.
You're in bed with him. That's all yours.
If I hear him make a deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers and announce it on Instagram like that, I'm done. I'm done.
David,
hey, Pittsburgh, we got a deal. No.
David, I don't even think if he signs, it makes the bottom line. I mean, Rico's right. He's paying you to play. Mm-hmm. What do the ticket texters have to say?
This makes me cry.
I know, but that's why it's a topic.
Someone says, this is a good one. One name, easily Crosby, Jim and Shelby.
So the things that took place 15 years ago would resonate enough. See, I would be lying if I said they did.
Yeah, they don't for me. And I mean, you could say he's a little older, but he's still, a productive player. I don't see an issue with that.
I still loved all the Sidney Crosby crying like signs that the old Joe used to feature. Such a good moment.
James Harden. Couldn't see him, don't want him on my Pistons.
That's three. James Harden is impossible to root for, even if he plays for your team. Yes. So we have three. We got Russell Wilson. We got Kevin Durant. We got James Harden.
Someone's saying they're calling you out, Mike. They said, how could you forget Kyrie Irving?
Penis cancer. Yes. Kyrie on the list. By the way, are we sensing a theme? It goes right with what I've been saying to you guys, that even though I like the NBA, it has become the least likable league. It is filled with very unlikable players. If you look at many of the biggest personalities. Like, I don't dislike Mahomes. I'm just tired of him winning. I don't personally think there's anything wrong with him. You look at the NBA. There are several of these players you look at and you go, man, I hate that guy. And I won't want him on my team.
Right. There's others that you're like, okay, you know what? Looks fun. Would love to have him there. Like I said, if LeBron gave the Pistons a year because they drafted Bronny, I'm cool with that. What if they swung a trade, Mike, and you got your quarterback? Mm-hmm. I don't know how the deal would work. We don't care. They figured it out. The salary cap doesn't exist.
God, just spit it out.
But all of a sudden, ESPN breaks in and says the New York Giants have just traded for Lamar Jackson.
I'm all in.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think Lamar is bad. I don't like the media telling me he's something he's not. Lamar's talented. I think Lamar wants to be good. I would be thrilled. Once again, Rico, being a Giants fan, or if you're a Pistons fan, you're homeless. If someone offers you a bed, but it's not the specific mattress you've been dreaming of when you're sleeping in the gutter, you don't complain about it.
So you take Lamar.
Yes.
You take Dak.
Yes.
Okay.
I am homeless. I have nothing. I want to
Okay,
win.
David, I thought I had him on the Lamar.
I just think Russell Wilson is in a rare classification. Like, let me give you an example. For years, Khalil Mack terrorized the Lions. If the first move the Lions made this offseason, which they're one of the 3 betting favorites to get him, if the Lions acquired Khalil Mack, I don't think a Lions fan would say 2 words. No problem. It's time to win. You're a pro. You're here for money, not because you like it. I'm okay with it. College football. If you told me tomorrow, Kenneth Grant, that freakazoid 400-pound Michigan D lineman transferred to state, you think I'd care?
I wouldn't.
Hell no.
Patrick Kane. Patrick Kane terrorized us for
There you go.
years. He's a Red Wing. We were all like, all right, we'll give it a shot.
So is Russell Wilson really that unicorn level of douche that you just can't abide? Because that's going to be your quarterback, David. See, that's the difference. Like, if the Steelers took a Buckeye, you wouldn't care.
Oh, no, I wouldn't care at all.
Exactly.
We have one, Cam Hayward.
That's my whole point.
Well, wait a minute. I think he's officially done, but I'm about to say Antonio Brown, but yeah, he's done.
Yeah, if you're
No
out
more
of the
comebacks,
league,
right?
we're not digging up bodies.
Okay, I'm
here.
just saying,
Yeah,
no more comebacks for him. All
No,
right.
he's done.
But he'd be tough to bring to a team. Even in the late years, like if he were a Niner,
Well,
a
that's why I
Steeler,
said
a
it's-
Lion, it would be very
Once
tough.
a wide receiver hits that diva status, I don't want anything to do with them. I'd rather. It's why you know what? When I look at what Calvin Johnson did for the Lions, I can respect that. I'm gonna go away, and I'm not gonna become that person. I'm just gonna move on with my life. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna go have some kids. I'm gonna own a bunch of weed dispensaries and just live my life. He did not go full blown diva
But you
because
just
once
want,
you do
you just
that-
want the weed. That's all you want, right? The weed. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, when you go full diva at wide receiver, you never come back from that. And that's when you start hopping from team to team to team to team.
He's not wrong. There is something in the water for wide receivers. But David, this is going to happen.
No.
No.
I refuse.
Okay, well, then that's your prerogative. I'm just telling you. I think Russell Wilson is a rare. There might be a half a dozen players in all of sports that would actually affect my ability to root for my team. It's a really finite number. And it'd be no one in college. Like whether I think the player is good or not. Like this JJ thing, I think the hype's out of control. I'll still draft him because I don't have a choice.
Here's the thing, Mike. Yeah, I probably, even if they would have got him and it would have helped him, I don't know if I could have sat and rooted for Hunter.
Well, but
Dickinson.
then enjoy 49-48 final last night.
Hey, I'm just, you want to know the truth? It would be
Okay.
difficult because it's just like, yep, just glad you're here. Don't like you.
Okay, then.
So
Take him to church.
all right. Specs at LTU is the place for you if you're looking for that career in radio, TV, you're a graphic design artist. Why? Because Specs is offering classes year round. You do not have to wait until the fall. You need to check out the website. Be curious. LTU.edu/specs to learn more about the broadcast media arts, digital media arts, and graphics communications program taught through Specs at LTU in Southfield on the campus of Lawrence Tech. You're going to be taught by instructors like yours truly who work in the business. It means we're not going to waste your time. With the hands-on approach and the expert faculty, you're going to learn the practical skills you need to succeed in today's media industry. So what are you waiting for? Visit the website, ltu.edu/specs to learn more. If you want to get that career started, Specs at LTU can help you get it going. But you got to go, and you got to start right now. Because at LTU, Specs at LTU, classes are going to be filling up really, really quickly. So get your name on the register and then enroll in Specs at LTU certificate program today.
Perfect temperature to sleep, 68 degrees. Bottom line, what's not up for debate, the best mattress on the market. It is the iComfort Eco by Serta. Supportive, designed to keep you cool, comfortable, feeling restored. Or Serta's perfect sleeper for pressure-relieving comfort and support while you maintain a balanced sleep temperature. Serta mattresses, made in Michigan, have been for 110 years. Just go to Serta.com to find a retailer near you. There's your new quarterback. David, run that sandwich commercial back. Come on. Look, we're just asking the question. David over here is about to acquire one of the only players I think in all sports where I'd be like, yeah, I can't root for my team no more. Russell Wilson at this stage, not 2 years ago, not 3 years ago, today, I wouldn't be able to do it.
It's only happened to me once in life. It was John L. Smith at MSU. I had cashed out. I was like, this guy's a clown. I can't root for this team. And I took that fall off. It was a buy. I hit the portal. It was a COVID year before COVID.
But see, that's amazing considering like you were at MSU last night for this nonsense team.
Because John L. Smith I had no respect for him. Kind of like you don't have any respect for Russell. I had none. Like this guy was a buffoon. He should have been fired.
His offense was fun.
Right. A team that struck but see, I lowered the bar for the Spartans. I didn't come in there thinking, no. Nope. You've done exactly what I thought you would do. So I'm okay. But John L.,
okay.
Nah, that was the one that after the Ohio State game, I said, I can't do this anymore. I want this guy gone. And he is causing me not to root for my team.
Game?
Yeah, where the coaches were screwing it up.
The blocked field goal. Ashton Yabooty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was there. What a great moment.
Well, I was just like, this guy, no.
David, go ahead.
People are asking both of you, would you root for your team if Harbaugh was your coach?
100%.
Mm-hmm.
I hate his guts, but the bottom line is the dude has won at the NFL level. And right now, what loyalty do I have to people like Pat Shurmur, Brian Daboll, Benny? What was the guy, Benny, with the good hair? Oh, McAdoo. And I don't care. I want to win.
That was before he was the coach of Michigan, though, Rico. So I think that's why they're asking again.
I was about to say,
he was your coach before.
Yeah,
the coach. Honestly, the coaches for me, coaches mean so little when you're actually watching the game. I don't have time to hate them as much as I hate their decisions. So it really doesn't matter who I hire. If we're winning, I'm always going to like the coach. Players, 99% of them. Russell Wilson might be just the one. I can't. I feel
it takes a lot for you to all of a sudden just say, I cannot enjoy watching this team.
I can't do
this. You secretly are rooting against your team. Like that, for me, that was John L. Smith.
Yeah, because there's been players I've hated, but it is what it is. Once you get on that field or that court or whatever, I'm okay.
It's something when you are actively just like you always say, I'm spite watching this team. But no, I'm talking just actively. You want this team to lose so he can be fired. But then you realize I want the team that I love to lose. I'm rooting for them to not win this game because the bigger picture, he's gone. Yeah, that's difficult to do because there's not a lot of people that you hate like that. So it is like Russell Wilson. I'm trying to help David out saying, you're going to get him cheap, David. You don't have to pay him the $39 million. Denver was foolish enough to do that.
Hold on, do this. Ready? Take everything Rico just said. I want you to sit there for a second. We are all going to sit here in silence. Just play that audio one more time and tell me if you can tolerate that. No, hit the button.
What is the thought process of being unlimited? What does that mean, Russell?
I don't know, but you're about to find out.
Sounds like a man who likes to have fun.
Does he now?
Or had a lobotomy.
Does he like to win? Maybe?
He'll
Because that's
hang out
not
at all
happening
three rivers.
at the same time.
The Ohio and the Mahunkanalian or whatever it's called.
Perfect. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Go ahead, David.
Aaron Rodgers would be that guy. I would never cheer for him if he ever became a Detroit Lion.
Rodgers is tough. Rodgers is tough, and the problem is I don't know what he has left for me to comment on it. He might make this list. He might.
No, I think he's on the list.
Yeah, okay.
Because he brings all the
baggage and the
with him.
nonsense. Yeah, okay. That's fair. I'll go with it.
Someone's mentioning Kyler Murray. Could never root for him if he became a Detroit Lion.
Why is that?
That's a great question. I really
Wait,
want to
wh-
know
why?
more from this texter.
Because taking away the size of Kyler Murray and all of that, you don't know if this man really likes football. So when he goes out there and has a bad game, you're wondering, hey, Kyler, did you even study the playbook?
He earned some of the credibility back. I think he did the best he could on a bad football team this year. And you heard no rumor. You heard none of the nonsense.
Because they can't get rid of him. So they're like, we might as well make this marriage work.
Can't get rid of him? Why is Russell Wilson available? You never can say can't after what the Broncos did.
I did that, and you know what? You sat there and said, hey, look at his contract. There is no way
And
Arizona
now that
can
it's
get
happened, we can't say that anymore.
That's just $39 million, Mike. They on the hook for him for like a small
Wilson
country.
Russell over 2 years, I think, is 80. Next year to hit is what, 49 and a half?
I believe so, yes.
Rico,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable when you think about it. That's crazy.
It is, but I think Kyler's is worse than that. Because they have the fourth pick right now. They could jump up and say, you know what, we're going to take a quarterback. The accountant's on the line too. No, you're not.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
Someone said, as a Michigan State basketball fan, I could never accept Grayson Allen. Hated that guy.
That's way back machine.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a way back machine. But see, like as much as I didn't like Mo Wagner, I would have taken him as a Spartan any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
He was tough as nails.
Yeah, I loved him. He was a great player.
Yeah, he was. Back when you had a real coach.
Oh, well. Juwan Howard would be my guy on the list.
Was Beeline growing up on the South Side? No.
No, except Beeline was real. Like, he was awesome. And I didn't hate John Beeline. I hated that he was a pain
You know what
in
I
the
hated?
ass.
I hated the fact that I actually started liking John.
That's what I
Beeline.
mean. I didn't hate
We
it.
had a long conversation one day, and I walked away like, damn it. Now I like you. Now, David, I told you about it. When he told me about the plane crash, because I was like, so was it that big of a deal? And he was like, oh, no. It was a very big deal. And he went and told the whole story. It was like, okay, now I like you.
Someone else is going way back, but they're saying if Jordan ever played for the Pistons and it's
Right, but see, that's a bygone era. Like, we largely watch sports now where rivalries don't really exist. They just don't. Like, what's the greatest rivalry in sports right now? What is it professionally? NHL, NBA, MLB, NFL. There are none. These sports are designed for parity.
According to ESPN, it's Yankees-Mets.
Okay, you hear Yankee
Or
fan.
Yankees-Red Sox.
Yankee fan here. Don't care.
Yankees-Red Sox?
No, it's not. And I'll tell you why. It's played. And frankly, I feel bad for the rest of America that those games are jammed down their throat. No one cares. You got to be in either city to care. Like baseball, think about it. Football, we'll watch Tennessee and Jacksonville on a Thursday night. You know what you're not watching? Sunday night baseball, Phillies, Dodgers. Not happening. The only time you're going to watch it is if the Tigers are playing.
That's a great question. Is there a
No.
rivalry in professional sports?
All gone. 248-539.
I'm sure it has something to do with the TV contracts that I came up with
Well,
for college, right?
you're ruining college's rivalries.
I'm sure that's why they're not
You're
there.
well on your way, Buckaroo. 248-539-9797. Let's talk about some great deals from Moran Buick GMC. Right now, Lisa 24, Sierra 1500 Elevation, $329 a month. A 24 Encore GX Preferred, $189. The 24 Terrains, $225. Tons of deals. And if something's wrong with that current vehicle, you bring it in for certified service at Moran Buick GMC, MoranExpress.com. You will get that loaner. Go about your day. Do the things you got to do. Don't waste a bunch of time. Moran Buick GMC, where you always get the best price, period. It's on Telegraph, just north of Eureka and Taylor, or at MoranExpress.com. It's Moran Buick GMC. We are professional grade. All right, we'll get to a blitz momentarily. I wanted to take just one moment, right? And we'll get ticket text. But Rico, I do want to ask you a serious question because you were up in East Lansing last night for senior night. Forget about what I think about this team. Forget about how little I care and how just disgustingly disappointing they are.
And the text messages.
Yeah. I mean, what I cannot fathom is I was nerding out a little bit and kind of looking at the shooting. This is a team that with guys like Tyson Walker and A.J. Hogard and Jaden Akins, on paper, they are supposed to be a really good shooting team. They are not just bad. They are egregiously bad. Mm-hmm. And it is also a team that I can't figure out. They have a magical power, and it is missing layups. It's like a little kid on a 10-foot hoop. Mm-hmm. It don't matter they're 2 feet away. They can't get the ball up to the rim. What is that a thing, or am I making that up?
No. This is not a thing.
They can't make layups.
Mike, it's not a thing. It's not something that I noticed or you noticed. There's staff members who've noticed that. Their numbers are down because this is like the 5th game that they've just flat out missed bunnies, missed layups, driving to the basket, brick. Like, how did you miss that? Don't know, but I did. It's not like, okay, occasionally you get in a drought, you can't hit threes. But yeah, they're missing layups and they're missing free throws. 2 of the things that should be the easiest to do in basketball. Nobody guards you for a free throw. And a layup, you're right there at the basket. Either finish it with a dunk or put the ball up there. But it's like they get caught and they're halfway and like, I don't know, the dunk or lay it up. Okay, I'll just miss the shot.
I'm going to ask you this. And I ain't mad if you get it wrong. I'm not quoting you. You go to the games, right? You pay way more attention than I do. I have quit. I have given up. I don't get joy in watching them play basketball for money. Not interested. It's a god-awful product. Is there any chance that they can do something here in the next 4 weeks? Big Ten tournament, plus what we would presume to be the first round of the NCAA tournament. Is there any scale of 1 to 10 in your mind? Nobody knows more about them than you do. Is there any shot of some March Madness here?
I'll say this, and nobody will pay attention to what I'm saying.
I am here for you.
MSU has the formula for March Madness success. Meaning,
what's that?
A backcourt. When you look at your March Madness teams that go far in the tourney, they got a good backcourt. Guys who could hit shots, not just three-pointers. I think that's why Purdue won't go far, because their guys can shoot threes. They can't drive. You got 3 guys when they're on, when Jaden Akins is playing, when AJ is playing, when Tyson Walker is not carrying the team and his back is hurting. They're playing well. Trey Holloman last night saved senior night by himself. They have that. Malik is all of a sudden, and then you got a backcourt and you got somebody who all of a sudden can go get rebounds. Somebody woke Malik Carr up, or he took the Darrell Summers magic pill. All of a sudden, I don't know who that guy is anymore because I didn't see him there for 5 years, but he's there now. They have the formula. Now, can they put it together? They haven't put it together all year. It's there. If I had to put money on it, I'd say probably not. But last year, you look at last year's Final Four teams, you would have made a fortune saying that these 4 teams are going to get red hot.
I just wanted to know. And look, you and I will be in Vegas in a couple of weeks. I have said to you, if they didn't make the tournament and it forced change, if it made Izzo change, I would forego the tournament. Like, I'd be willing to end the streak to make change, because I'll tell you what I can't do. And I know there's a lot of Spartans like me. I can't watch this crap. It's not good. Rico, hey, they won. Fine. Okay, you want the seniors to never lose a senior day. Okay, I won't be overly spiteful. You can't tell me you walked away from last night feeling good.
No.
That was awful basketball. Awful.
It was staff members weren't feeling good, but they were like, yeah, we just got to celebrate.
Rico Beard says not even MSU staff can watch this garbage.
I did not say that.
That's the way it sounded to me.
What I'm saying is, yes, they have the formula. You've seen enough college basketball to know that if you got that backcourt, you can do great things.
Guards can carry you a long way.
Yeah.
I know. I just need to ask, because the one thing I do get tired of is that whole January, February Izzo nonsense.
I think that we're done with
that. Yeah, please don't. And if you own one of them T-shirts, go clean your rims. Go put the truck in the driveway and make it a rim rag. All David on the ticket text. I just had to ask you. I know you were up there last night, and boy howdy, when I saw that they had 9 points with 7 minutes to go in the first half, I went, nope, not turning that on.
It didn't get any better. They only had 20 points at halftime.
Once again, not turning that on.
And the funny thing is, and then in the first 3.5 minutes of the second half, they scored 10 points. Like, wow.
What an explosion. Cutscene. Kentucky put up 110 the other night. David, what do you got?
People trying to answer your question on the rivalries here. They can't be serious here. Red Wings in Colorado, yes, bigger years ago, but still a residual rivalry?
When you say years ago, you do realize you're talking essentially 30 years.
Yeah, there's no residual
like
rivalry
27 years to be specific.
Bengals versus Chiefs has the potential of being a good rivalry.
Yeah, well, so does Bills and Chiefs. The problem is one team never wins when the chips are down.
Yeah, that's what someone else is saying. The only rivalry I can think of is Kansas City and the other 31 teams in the NFL.
I was just saying, Bengals Chiefs, because I remember, okay, maybe. Because when Burrow went and he's like the only one that's beaten Patrick Mahomes.
But that's a one-off. Yeah. You need to do it over a 5-year period like what the Steelers and Ravens used to have, or the Steelers and Colts, or Steelers and Pats. Like, it doesn't exist because the league will not allow it to exist. You can't keep teams together.
Here's another potential, since we're going to do potential rivalries.
Yeah, sure.
Lions-Packers.
Yes. Both teams, same division, twice a year. The Pack are the youngest team in the league. You're built right. Yes to Rico on that.
See, here's what Lions fans want if you talk about future. They want the Lions and the 49ers to become one. Teams that are always in first place, that always get to play each other in the playoffs.
You play them in the regular season next year, and if there's a rematch in the playoffs, you can form it, but you got to play these teams in multiples.
The Packers, you got to play them there and here.
Well, but that's the thing, though, because the Bengals were good, not this past year, but because they were and they pretty much stack up in the first, they've played each other with the Chiefs every year almost, and in the playoffs. So it's possible.
It is.
It's possible. Someone else is saying the Braves and Phillies have warmed up a bit. No, they have not. No.
It takes an awful lot in baseball. There's so many games. I know it'll never happen.
You almost need some type of a fight or something to happen to be like, okay, now it's on.
Yeah, you need Nolan Ryan, Robin Ventura.
Old man strength.
Yeah, for real. AJ Hogarth has not finished a layup all season long, and he can't make a three. Tell me again why he was on this team.
All I keep thinking is, where's the guy who against Kansas State scored 12 straight points? I have no idea.
The funny thing is, and I know the numbers have changed, but I think I told Mike, his 3-pointers, believe it or not, the corner threes, before last night's game, I think he was 11 of 16. All of his other threes, I want to say he was like I think he was like 4 for 35.
Okay, that's Jaden Ivey stuff.
But corner threes, deadly.
By the way, Jaden Ivey, last 7 games. You want this is the whole he can't play with Cade? 9 for 50 from deep. Keep saying it. They got to trade one. I know we're not going down that road right now. They got to trade either Cade or Ivy. They can't play together.
I mean, it's close to 20%.
Yep, just going to go ahead and read this. Hungry Howie's, nothing better than a pepperoni pizza. The question is, well, which type? The crispy classic or the savory original? You don't need to choose. They're going to put them both on there. It's the pepperoni duo. Very simple, the pepperoni duo, featuring both types of pepperoni. Not to mention 100% real mozz, fresh dough made in-house, plus your choice of flavored crust. A large, $9.99, limited time only. You get more pep, more flavor for under $10. It's March, tournament time. Little pizza and basketball. I mean, both our teams stink. You may as well eat your feelings and watch good matchups. It's Hungry Howie's. Get that large pepperoni duo for $9.99. Only at Hungry Howie's. All right, David, we are on the cusp of free agency. We've got some trades, ideas, possibilities. Let's hit the music, shall we?
And that's what we are going to talk about, Mike, of the possibility of some of these names getting dealt from, I guess I'll give you a scale of 1 to 5, 5 meaning they get dealt, 1 meaning they don't.
All right.
And the reason why is because a lot of people forget about this part when it comes to the league year starting. They
'Cause
think
it's
about,
new.
yeah, free agency and then
It's become the NBA trade deadline.
So let's start with Jonathan Allen, the defensive tackle from the Washington Commanders. He is 29 and owed $32.5 million. And with a team that is basically restarting, does it make sense to trade him?
I mean, it makes sense. The problem is it's a hell of a lot of money. It's also a disgruntled player who made that very well known. I'll say 2. I don't rule it as impossible, but, man, you got to take on a lot of money for a dude who's very close to 30 years old. That's just not where I'd go.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, football terms, if it was 25 maybe, but yeah, I'm with Mike on this one.
Like, if I'm selling my soul to the devil, I'll do it for Brian Burns. He's 25 years old. Go ahead, David.
That makes total sense. Keenan Allen, the next guy on the list, he is 32 years old in April, $23 million old.
Nope. That
Not for $23 million. No. You told me 2 to 3 million. Yes.
Rico's got him playing on that Russell Wilson contract.
Right.
I'm going to say no to it. Keenan is still a pro.
Yes.
And you got to consult with Justin Herbert before you make that move. I mean, that's your franchise. He gets a say in where his wide receivers are at.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be diminishing. You're right. He had over 1,200 yards,
Yeah.
108 catches.
And it's all the short stuff. He gets open. Him and Devontae Adams, 2 of the better route runners in the league. He knows he's crafty. It's a lot of money. I mean, you just saw Michael Pittman in Indianapolis. The franchise tag is $22 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I laugh. All these Lions fans get mad at me for saying Amon-Ra's a $25 million player. Look at the market.
All right, this next guy here, I was kind of shocked when I saw this name here, okay? But just give it a chance.
Okay.
Mark Andrews. They went 7-1 without him. They owe him a total of $11 million this year. And then they say Isaiah Likely performed effectively without him, and he's much cheaper. They got to save money for the franchise tag that they gave their defensive tackle.
Kind of got Wally pipped. Yeah.
Yes.
His replacement, they didn't think it was going to be as good. You kind of thought Andrews was one of those one-of-one tight ends, and Likely is getting it done just as much as him.
And how old is Andrews?
Andrews is 28 years old.
All right. David, I still, again, this would come down to Lamar.
Correct.
We want to make sure you don't erupt. I don't hate it. I don't. Just based on Likely is a blossoming star, and they drafted him. God, it was 3rd, 4th round, Coastal Carolina.
Yes.
I'll still put it at a 2. It's not impossible, but I'd be surprised.
I like this because I think that it's your way of saving money. And in NFL, whenever you can save a couple of $11 million and you have somebody under a rookie contract deal.
That's why I want to draft an offensive lineman and let Jonah Jackson go. I think Jonah's going to make $10 million. I'm not paying him. I'll keep Glasgow cheaper. I'll draft someone, whether it's my boy BB, whether it's that Powers kid from Oregon, put him at guard. Frank Ragnow leaves. I can start him at center. I'm saving money 100%. I'd love to keep Jonah Jackson. Can't do it for $10, $11 million a year.
Yeah.
Hassan Reddick, the next name on this list.
I know they want to deal him badly.
And that was a whole weird thing. They said he could talk to people. He said, no, I can't. I want to be here. He's owed $16 million, but he wants a contract. He is 29 years old.
I'll say it's a 1. He didn't have some year I cared about. Plus, he wants to get paid. Plus, I view any Eagle as damaged goods with whatever the hell went on in that locker room. I'll say a 1 there. Plus, again, damn near 30 years old.
See, that's the thing. People forget a lot of guys that become available are guys that are at 30 or over 30 years old. And it's like,
It's why I don't begrudge somebody like Amon-Ra. Go get your money now. Because that next contract,
Yeah.
you may not get that $100 million deal or $150 million deal because they're going to look at you and say, man, you're too old. I can go get a younger guy. Yeah, I'll put it at a 1.
First of all, look, the average NFL career is 3.7 years. And then you factor in, if you're not a quarterback, you get one bite at the apple. That if you are really good as a rookie and you turn out to be a really good football player, you might get one deal. One. Now, you make $100 million. But very few players get the second deal.
You're right. They
non-quarterback.
value the quarterback, and then the non-quarterback I think that may get another chance is the pass rusher because maybe you can still get the quarterback.
Yeah, Jadeveon Clowney's been getting paid in one-year deals forever. So, yes.
So this one is not – he's not 30. He's not 29. He's 27 years old.
You got my attention.
His due only $1.2 million. That will be his cap hit because of all the restructuring that the Saints made.
Okay.
His name is Marshawn Lattimore.
Top of my head, I'd really have to go back and look, but anytime I watch, I felt like he did not have a good year. But
if the money is coming around at that level.
Yeah, but you got to pay him. He's going to need a new contract.
I did leave something out. He only played 17 games over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and you're going to have to pay him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the Fields principle. Why do you think Fields, this market isn't crazy? Because you have to pay him. I don't think you're trading an asset to get a guy in a 5th-year option and then you're not signing him.
No, especially if you only played half a season.
Can I say pass on anything the Saints do? Because I don't understand how they run their organization.
Fair.
Is that wrong of me?
At some point, they're going to owe like $162 million in cap
It's like
money.
they took balloon notes on their stadium and they won't be able to afford to turn the lights on.
I mean, I guess except if Dan Campbell, who was there, sees something or knows somebody and was like, you know what? No. This guy, make sure he's a Lion.
Very true. Next guy on the list would be Khalil Mack, another guy he's 33 years old.
But I think it's dirt cheap. You don't have to give up much. Not in my world. Now, if they think they're getting some first, second, or third round pick for Khalil Mack, I am out. But for 1 year, he had a very strong season last year, and I need a pass rusher. I'm not laughing at that.
No.
Plus, he takes care of himself.
He does. And I'm going to end with this one because I need to just put you all on record. I need to know what happens to T. Higgins. I mean, what are they doing here?
David,
trading him, not trading him, signing him.
I still, from a financial standpoint, have a hard time that they gave Burrow his money. You're going to make Jamar Chase the highest paid receiver in the history of the league. I can't find a way that T. Higgins gets $100 million and this team can function. I feel like he has to be traded. I know they put the tag on him, but that's a negotiating ploy. I'll say 3.
I don't think they trade him.
Okay.
I don't. I think that they brought him back for a reason. I think this is one of those Joe Burrow said, make it happen, figure it out.
Like you're asking Lamar and like you're asking Herbert.
Cap's not real. When I look out here on training camp, he better be on my right side.
I just don't know if just asking Burrow's enough.
Right, here's all I'm saying to you. Burrow making 52 or whatever it is. Jamar Chase going to make 30. Let's say T. Higgins was on a friendly deal and took 20. $102 million. The better part of half of your cap. And those 3 guys.
You got nobody protecting him. Nobody getting the quarterback on the other side.
That's tough for me.
But in their world, our window is right now to take out the Chiefs. We cannot worry about next year or the year after or the year after that. We got to only worry about this upcoming season. We'll figure it out later.
Okay. And that is in Football Today.
All right, 4 o'clock. Let's get to it. We do it every week at this time. Can Roberto go 3 for 3 in a non-depressing? Oh, look at this man.
I was about to say, I didn't know. Is he ready right now? Because if not, I got something for you. Okay.
Well, he better be. Well, you want to kick him out and have him run back? Yeah, okay, you know what? Roberto's.
Right,
we're going to do deal breakers at 4:15.
Kick him out, make him run.
Hold on. You want to let him back, make him think we're doing it? Watch this. Here, hold on. People work with me. He's about 5 steps away. 4, 3, 2. Hey, stop. 4:15. You're out. All right. No, you're out. 4:15. Well, I'm not going to look at you for the next 10 minutes. Get out of here.
Oh, come on. We're wasting valuable time.
Get out.
4:15.
Rico, we'll get to you. You missed your opportunity. Rico, what do you have?
Mike, you ready to hate me a little bit more?
No, I don't want to.
I think you enjoy it.
What?
Fox has come out. There will be the big noon kickoff.
Okay.
There will also be
This is college football, people.
college football season-long Friday night games. They're bringing Friday night football to Fox. Not just one, all season long through the Big 10, the Big 12, and the what was the other conference?
I don't like it. I like the minor conferences playing on Friday. If you got a Mountain West game.
Mountain West,
That's
Big
fine.
10, Big 12. They're going to slate matchups throughout for all those conferences on Friday nights because they think they had such success with the big noon kickoff that people will follow them to Friday night.
No, I won't. I'm done with this. They're doing everything. Just do whatever you want. It's your sport. I'm out. Don't need it. And no, I'm not doing the whole, that's the night for high school football. Nobody cares about high school football. The point I'm making is Mountain West, MAC, do whatever you want to do, man. To enjoy the crumbs.
MAC Wednesday.
Right.
7 o'clock.
You do what you have to do to get on TV.
Right.
But the Big 12, the new Big 10, we don't need
Now
to be
the
playing on Friday nights. Come on.
Here's going to be the interesting thing. How are they going to get the big boy schools from the Big 10 and the Big 12 to participate in this? Because by playing a game on Friday, you know what that means if you have that home game? You can't bring recruits up because they're playing football games the same time as yours. So I got a feeling that the Friday night games will be the lower end schools.
Yeah, I was thinking more it's a nightmare for the average fan who has a job.
Or if like, let's say Ohio State does play it, they're the away team. They're not giving up that valuable, I'm bringing recruits on campus. No. We're going to play Northwestern at Northwestern on a Friday night.
So what we're left with is Illinois, Maryland on a Friday night, which I don't want to watch.
But
if it were noon on Saturday in the rotation.
Or you may get a, Ohio State versus Illinois. But it's Friday on the road.
Yeah.
You're not going to see, I don't think you'll see games in the big house. You won't see games there. I'm trying to think who's left. Oklahoma State.
Oh, don't worry. Your best friend will give up home games.
Well, they already do the one.
And maybe Allen will have us playing down at Fort Field again and get butchered.
But do you see what you just did there, Rico? Who's left? You were thinking of the Big 12 teams. That's the problem. We don't know who's left in these conferences anymore.
Right. Like if I have Kenny name the Big 12 right now, he can't.
Try it, Kenny.
No.
You
This
gotta-
does not make Kenny feel bad segment.
Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, TCU.
We really don't need to do that.
Okay.
I'm making a point to you. You can talk to these guys. You can talk to our listeners.
Here's the other thing.
I don't like this, and I don't need to.
The Friday night game they did at Ford Field did great ratings.
That's the day after Thanksgiving. It is not the same.
Okay.
I don't have a problem
But no.
open the season or
I was about
close
to
the
say,
season.
their Friday night game, I got a feeling, will be, okay, first game of the year.
Right, and it's Labor Day weekend.
Right, Pencil, Michigan State in that
That's
game.
different because you're worried none of your fans will be at the game on Saturday because they're on vacation.
But I got to think like places like Indiana that doesn't draw. I mean, you saw the Indiana stands on their big, when they play Purdue, it's still nobody there. Or Purdue. I got to think that it's going to be those schools that will be playing Friday night. But just wanted to make you aware.
That's fine. It's just, again, it's a litany of decisions that just do not appeal to me, do not interest me, and it's all in the name of greed. That's all it is. It has nothing to do with the quality of the sport. And the fact that you will leave teams, that teams will be able to, quote, opt out of the program, that's a laugher. You're all in the conference. Newsflash, I get it. Wolverines, I'm standing up for you in that I don't think Friday Night Football should exist. Work with me. I'm saying if it does exist, we're all in this conference together, right? See, this is the laugher. I don't have to care about this crap.
Well, they're figuring they can do this because they drew their viewership grew 8% over last year. So they said, we're going to bring this back.
At what point do the
worked in the
TV
Pac-12.
networks, when do we get back to making decisions that are good for the sport? Someone want to help me with that?
Well, whatever they give you is good for the sport.
No,
that's what they believe.
Yeah, okay. Kenny, you're an SEC guy. Like, I'll tell you why the SEC is so much better than the Big Ten. Because they would never allow this garbage.
Absolutely not. That sounds like a joke.
It's the same reason LSU goes to the network and goes, here's the deal. Don't ever not schedule us at night. It is Death Valley. This is what we do. The Big Ten is willing to get pimped for another $1.
No, I think the Big Ten is using this strategically. The West Coast teams, they've done this. When the Pac-12 played on Friday, it's no big deal. So you'll once again,
right? A conference no one cared about.
Have you ever seen attendance at UCLA?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Right. So you know what? They're going to probably be on a Friday night.
Right, but it's
not going
why
to influence anybody.
But I don't want to see them on a Friday. I don't want to see them at all.
Watch the game. You don't want to see UCLA at all?
No, they're trash.
They didn't want to see him in the Pac-12. America didn't want to see him. Now we're idiots and we took him for you.
I got to see
for you and your friends at the networks
playing at night against Indiana.
Or USC.
That's exciting.
You'll get USC.
Wow. Don't care. Look, for me, there's an element of this. I am willing with the opener for Friday to close the year. You want to play a game on a Friday holiday. I understand. Rico, it just nothing they're doing makes any sense for the. I love Saturday. All right? I didn't go to a Mountain West school. I didn't go to a MAC school. I don't care about the Conference USA. They can play whenever they want. The big conferences play on Saturday. That's how it should be.
Well, now 2 of the big conferences are going to be playing on Friday. Big 12, Mountain West, Big 10, according to Fox, will be playing games regularly on Friday night. Schedule's not out yet.
That's the other thing. And maybe this is a me thing, and if you're a listener and disagree, please feel free. I don't need any other nights of my life taken up by football. The NFL's already got Monday. They already got Thursday. Saturday and Sunday, it is wall to wall. You know what I don't need? Another night.
Funny you say that, because from the press release of Fox, our goal this fall is to have the #1 college football game on both Fridays and Saturdays and the top NFL game on Sundays. It's almost like you're reading the script, Mike.
I know a thing or two. David, go ahead, take a text, and then we will get to deal breakers. Hopefully Roberto will be ready this time around. And I'm glad you brought this up. That's a nice news bit, and I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you. I just... Rico, there's an element
I'm going to be banned from the studio tomorrow.
No, you lose the special nature of the game when Friday, like, take something, and I know the jokes about Iowa's offense, but even a Big Ten West game that you would want to see, Iowa, Nebraska, I don't need that on Friday night. That's a Saturday at 3:30 kick. When you take these games, it takes away from what college football is supposed to be.
But, and I know it's a championship game, Mike, but I look back to the Pac-12 championship where it was Washington and Oregon
in Vegas.
Friday night in Vegas.
That's a conference title game, and you're building it in an event city. The conference championship, believe it or not, I side with you on that stuff. Those are events. Those are for trips, per se. The Pac-12 doing their tournament in Vegas and doing their title game in Vegas was brilliant because you will get fans because it's Vegas. I don't have a problem with that. I don't. If you told me the Big Ten wanted to move the Big Ten title game, let's pretend the Bears build a dome stadium near the lake. I totally understand it, even though it's perfect in Indy. I get certain elements of this. I'm not anti-business.
We'll figure out what the schedule is going to be when it comes out, but they're saying they're going to do it every week. So it looks like if it's, 14 weeks in the regular season with the byes.
Oh, let me see Michigan have to play a home game on a Friday night. Oh, these phone lines will be full.
I don't think, unless it's like one of those. Well, no, they don't have cupcake games this year, do they, David? You guys got real teams.
No, you're
They
right.
also don't have spyglasses. Be a hell of a year. That one was for you, Kenny.
But just think about
All
it.
right.
I mean,
I have thought about it.
You thought about You know what I mean? Like when Cookies went up to watch Central Michigan in the snow, and you could do the same on a Friday night.
You put him on TV, made him look bad.
Put him on TV, David.
Can we please?
That didn't happen.
Deal breakers. Next. 97.1.
Let's talk about the Chevy dealer in the area that's been leading the way. Hamilton Chevrolet in Warren. Andrew and the sales staff want to be your Chevy dealer. They will guarantee you the lowest payment on your next Chevy, period. All March long, Hamilton Chevrolet is participating in the Truckload of Hope campaign. It's a donation drive that has supported over 400,000 people. Stop in and drop off essential shower and household items for this great cause. And while you're there, check out Hamilton's great inventory, including this month's Rico deal, a new 2024 Chevy Silverado Crew Cab 4x4, $349 a month. Yep, I said that right. $349 a month for 24 months. Just $995 down, and you drive away with 10,000 miles a year. You know what I say. The best deals are found at 14 Mile and Mound. Just stop in and see my guys at Hamilton Chevrolet for details. Tell them Rico sent you. Make Hamilton Chevrolet your Chevy dealer. Visit HamiltonChevy.com. Together, let's ride.
Hi, everybody. Hold that thought, Rico. I'll get right back to you. The crazy weather, beautiful one day, 30 the next. What are we getting, like 2 inches of rain this weekend? Whatever it is. If you need service on your furnace or AC, you need Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. They have got you covered 24/7. Locally owned over 40 years. They back their work with a 5-year warranty. Mastercraft, your one-stop shop for heating, AC, plumbing, electrical, you name it. Plenty of generators in stock and on sale. And if Mastercraft can't get to you same day, they're going to take 25% off that next day service. It's mastercraftheating.com. All right, a man who has just hurt his back standing up. Those words came out of Roberto's mouth. We do it every week this time. It is time for Deal Breakers. And there it is, the music. Why do I come in with an expectation that you'll change it?
Never.
Okay.
It's a staple.
Let's get
People
to
would
it.
be mortified if I did something.
Okay, right. All right, let's jump in. Let's try to keep this uplifting and not depressing. Gentlemen.
This has been coming up frequently today, so I thought we would put it on the list.
Yeah.
Maybe some others would like to chime in on what they would do in this situation.
Okay.
You're sitting in your cubicle at work. When all of a sudden, you see a very cute, small little white dog walk by, stop by the pillar by your desk, and make a grumpy. Your office has an open pet policy, and dogs are frequently in the building. If the dog is not potty trained, should it be in the office?
No. Here's my thing. First of all, I think it's absurd we have an open dog policy. There should be if you want to bring your dog to work on a Friday, maybe. But the issue that took place today, the dog was completely unsupervised. I'm not done. There is no human being on this side of the building. Your dog was not within 100 yards of you in a 10,000 square foot building. Your dog didn't know what was going on. But I'll tell you what your dog knew. It was time to do-do. So here we go. See, that's the part that's absurd to me. Powers brings his dog in, but Murph stays with him and has manners. This dog was unsupervised. You may as well give a baby a machine gun. And the dog sit here and dropped a deuce right in the middle of one of the number one sports station in America.
It looked you right in the eye as it was doing
And
it.
he looked at me and he went, hey, buddy, F you.
Act of defiance.
Yeah, I think it's absurd. You're damn right I think it's absurd.
I think
we have
the rumor that the dog meditated and said, "Hi, my name is JJ. This is what I'm going to do for your Giants team."
Well, not only open dog policy, I think we have an open livestock policy.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. Christ, you got people in this building who don't wear deodorant. Everything's up for grabs.
Oh, no. For God's sake. What's going on here?
Argue it.
I don't think we can top this.
Well, all I have to say,
Woodstock here.
David, you were sitting next to
Right.
me when that took place.
yeah, all I have to say is it looked like a stray dog, so don't be surprised if the door just opens and the dog just walks out. I'm sorry, I didn't know whose dog it was. What am I supposed to do when a dog just does that? I don't know where you're from. Bye.
Dogs, kids.
Unbelievable.
Nonsense. I'm surprised we don't have a tilt-a-whirl in the middle of this
No,
building.
kids aren't allowed here. What are you talking about?
Oh, well.
Uh-oh. Well, yours aren't. All right, let's keep it rolling.
Okay.
So, Kenny, how about those wings?
Okay.
Kenny, what are your thoughts on unleashed pets, unsupervised, dropping grumpies in the middle of an office?
After I found out there were ducks in this building a month ago, this doesn't even surprise me anymore.
Got it. Hey, come on down to 97.1 for the ostrich races on Sunday.
Petting zoo.
Petting zoo down here.
Got a regular Catskill game farm over here. Next.
We start having peanut shells all over the floor.
Right. Why not? A couple weeks ago, I'm on vacation. We had salespeople blind drunk in the middle of the day. No standards. None. Next.
Okay. Here's another one. Real life scenario. Rico was here when this was happening. He may weigh in on this. You find out that two of your coworkers are betting on spring training games. Oh, God. You feel that this is a new low. They keep giving you tips on the games, and it looks like they are having fun. Do you join in or have a little self-respect and say, no thanks?
Choice B. Oh, my God.
And who is doing this?
No, Kenny, no.
Me and Evan.
And your producer.
No, Kenny,
And
no.
your producer for Cast a Ticket.
Oh, no. Spring training baseball?
They were sitting there. Parker Meadows, yeah, come on. What is going on?
We had the Tigers at plus odds. Let's go. Didn't win. Wasn't
You would
great.
have thought it was Game 7. The way they were in their cubicle cheering every at bat, every pitch. Like, I'm looking at David like, is this for real? Like, are they really this invested in a random Tigers-Braves spring training game from Florida?
You got to draw a line. That falls below the Mendoza line of acceptability for sports wagering. You can't do it. It's the same thing with horse racing. When you
trying to
start
support
to
the
see the harness track being broadcast, you are logging out or you need to call the number.
I love that it's even offered.
That's the More betting markets has its consequences.
And I was a little confused of how they were watching it. It felt like it was an illegal stream. I don't know where they got that broadcast from.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Is that why the Wi-Fi is down?
Sorry about that, guys.
Next. Oh, man.
Well, maybe you and Stoney will talk about this on Friday because he did bring it up earlier this week.
Yes.
Your father-in-law has become obsessed with pickleball. He has spent a ton of money on equipment and talks about it constantly. Every time you see him, he has sustained a new injury playing the game.
Let me change this for the room to make it even funnier.
Okay, go ahead.
Not father-in-law. Your father.
Your own father.
Your father.
Okay. You're worried for his safety because he's always getting injured playing this game, and he is in the later stages of his life. How do you tell him, hey, I know it's good exercise, but let's calm it down a little bit?
You just say, you know what? You actually hurt your back when you get up. Maybe leave pickleball alone.
Oh, that's Roberto here.
I hurt reaching for the remote control.
I mean, let's go around the room here. For me, I worry more about, like, Dad, no more shoveling. That, don't do stupid stuff. You got something heavy to pick up at the house, you get some help with that. I don't know if he's getting physical activity.
Thank you. I don't really care.
But
You're
if
out
he's
there
coming back
exercising.
all bruised and injured and
it's
tweaking his knees
If it's
and
a constant
ankle.
thing, yes. But a very,
This is new for me because for the first time, I'm starting to consider my dad old, even though he's healthy and he acts younger. I don't know the answer to this. This is one of the only deal breakers ever. I can't really give you.
Dog just threw you off, huh?
No, it didn't throw me off.
I
It just angered me. I don't even understand the point of this office. There's no one here.
only
There's a
bring it
dog
up-
and a grumpy.
I only bring it up because they say like pickleball is a huge, sustaining a lot of injuries and people get hurt all the time playing it.
Yeah,
and-
because you think, it's a friendly game, and then you go out there and try
People
to
get
relive
nuts.
like you're a teenager, and now you're on crutches.
That Stoney was out there doing a bunch of coke.
well, he was getting beat by women. That's what he was saying.
if you're going out for the exercise, but you're not trying to be Pete Sampras
Good
or all
pull.
Andre Agassi,
You're
then
right.
I'm
You
fine.
Lindell, Boris Becker. Let's keep it going. Malaveo, Washington. Let's keep it going.
Wow. Yeah, if you're going out, it's like playing pickup basketball. If you're just going out there to have some fun, shoot the ball around. But now if you're going out there thinking, okay, let me show you my moves. No.
I'm on a 6-game winning streak. I got to keep it. No.
Yeah, Dad,
sorry.
you don't need the headband. Ain't nobody moving that
Let me
fast.
show you how Bob McAdoo used to do it back in the day.
All right. Next. Jesus. Who was actually the person doing this? Because this has to be a Stoney story.
It was Sony.
Yeah, he's been playing with his wife.
And he's been getting. Come on now.
And pickleball.
Okay. Come on. Will you please? Come on. Come on, man. The point is, so he's sustaining injuries. Fascinating. Okay. Carry on. Last one. You're out of line.
Yeah.
You're out of line.
There we go.
You're out of order.
You mistakenly made a bet with an annoying coworker that involved the winner buying the loser lunch.
Mm-hmm.
You were hoping that he would forget, but now he won't leave it alone. You do not want to have to do this.
That's Rico with Rieger.
You brought in carryout one day and he ate it and enjoyed it. However, he still asks about the lunch date. How can you break it to him that it's just not going to happen?
Wait, I brought food in.
Yeah.
He
He's
ate
not
it.
considering that. No, he's not considering
care
that
what
go
you
out
consider.
to lunch.
It's done. It's paid for. I don't care.
You're supposed to go out
Once
with him
you
to
accept
lunch.
this bag, you've now said.
Is this you and Rieger?
No, that wasn't me and Rieger.
Who is this?
I massaged it a little, but somebody gave me a tip. Someone close
Why
to you.
is it a CIA secret? What are you doing?
What just happened here?
What's going on?
Just name names.
Rhymes with Bevan Mankins.
Evan? Who's Evan got to take to lunch? Did he make a bet with a salesperson?
I don't know.
What's going on here? All right, listen.
No, something about cheesesteaks that you guys are supposed to get tomorrow. I think that might be
Kenny
the thing.
didn't want to.
They're not bringing them?
Roberto,
I don't know.
say it. Just say it.
It sounds like the person bringing us food tomorrow is not bringing us food tomorrow now.
No,
That's
the
what it
food
sounds
is coming.
like.
The food's coming.
Oh, Stoney.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Stoney issue. You don't want to deal with lingering Stoney. You don't want to have to
No,
take
but
him
I
out.
But I'm now being told that he delivered it wrong, the story.
No, I massaged it a little.
Okay. Evan, go ahead. Speak your piece, please.
Has nothing to do with the bet. It's just about food, period.
Got it.
Yeah.
So are we covered, or do I need to step up and fix this?
No, we're
or-
good.
We're good?
We're good.
There's nothing wrong. Okay.
No,
now,
no.
Let's work in his pretend world. You cannot make a bet with someone that involves having lunch with them if the nightmare, the hellscape of your life is taking them to lunch.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a cost too big.
Right. I will bring you whatever your favorite meal is.
Right.
Like Rieger, I'll stop at Chipotle and I'll pick this up and you can have. Like when he bet me the Michigan State Purdue
That's
game.
it. But
Yeah.
it doesn't involve, because again,
We don't have to sit and look at each other and eat this
when
thing.
you make that bet, you're making a bet you can't afford. If you cannot
what?
be with that person out, it's essentially like betting an amount of money you don't have. Neither situation
yeah,
is
you
good.
have to set aside time.
Yes.
And that person's going to want to spend at least an hour and a half with you and catch up on your life. And you're going to have the conversation. You're locked in.
Oh, and then if you got cornered with Stoney out, that's a 3-hour lunch. He's telling stories about the Broad Street bullies. I mean, you're never going to get out of there. Lunch turns to dinner. It's 2 meals.
The wait staff is saying we're about to close.
Yes. Let me tell you about the time I met Randall Cunningham. Stoney, no one cares. All right, that is deal break.
There you go.
Let me tell you about Victor's Home Solutions. If you're not sure, you think you need a new roof, you might, you just want to check, Victor's the #1 roofing company in the state. They'll show up on time, they'll walk you through the job site, and they offer a free 21-point roof inspection, and they put it on tape. They'll take you through it, show you what's going on, because a lot of times a minor repair can save a major expense. Victor's, more 5-star reviews than anyone, tops in their industry for craftsmanship. That's why you'll find cheaper, you won't find better. And they back their work. They offer you, with every job, they will offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee. All you need to do, schedule your free 21-point video inspection today, 734-773-1100. That's 734-773-1100. Or you set that appointment at victors.com.
Let's talk about the Chevy dealer in the area that's been leading the way. It's Hamilton Chevrolet in Warren. Andrew and the sales staff want to be your Chevy dealer, and they will guarantee you the lowest payment on your next Chevy, period. All March long, Hamilton Chevrolet is participating in the Truckloads of Hope campaign. It's a donation drive that has supported over 400,000 people. Stop in and drop off essential shower and household items for this great cause.
Well, let's start with Saquon Barkley.
No, you don't get to do that because Rico and I want to ask you something. After weeks of you serving up the poo-poo platter, every time I've tried to tell you, David, I'm telling you, Russell Wilson and the Steelers is a thing. And you called me a heathen, a non-believer. You told me I was going to hell. Well, now today, reports validate what I have been saying, and Rico, to his credit, has backed me. David, are you ready for a danger witch all up in your mouth?
I rebuke you, Satan. I do not.
The Pimani's version?
Oh, please. No, Atlanta,
Come
take
on.
them.
No.
Minnesota, take them.
Russell Wilson is a Steeler. What is your reaction?
My reaction is...
And he'll bring Sierra.
My reaction is just have her sing in place of him playing. I'll take that instead. It upsets me. It really pains me because I thought the Steelers were a real organization. I thought they cared about winning. Instead, they care about just pacifying the ownership and just, he's upset that we're not winning, and then you go out there and get this guy. This is the veteran quarterback. Whatever.
David, does it help? You're not going to pay him anything.
No.
And you can use that money to go and bring in other pieces.
No, doesn't matter because they won't get the free agents that is needed to make us win and help us win.
So what do you need, David?
I need them to go get Justin Fields.
Okay, you got
trade.
You got the shopping cart. You're not going to get Fields. You're going to get Russell. What else do you need?
No, I want Fields. That's what I want.
What else do you need? Not what you want. What do you need?
If you give me Justin Fields, I think we have enough weapons around him, along with what we get in the draft, to start winning again.
All right.
We have a defense.
All right, sufficient. He's still in denial, and I love it. Next.
Let's go back to Saquon
Yeah, go ahead,
Barkley.
because I won't act like you. I'll give you real answers.
6 teams are linked to him: the Raiders, the Bears, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Texans, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the difference between that one. There's mutual interest from the both. He has interest in playing for them. Your thoughts?
I mean, to me, the best situation is Houston. I'm not mad at Saquon. He can do whatever he wants to do. You know, there was an opportunity to pay him. I'm glad the Giants didn't. They made a good faith offer. He decided not to take it. Howie Roseman collects stars. He's a star bleeper. So am I going to be all butthurt if he goes to Philly? No, not in the least. The guy has sat there and suffered with my garbage organization if he wants to try to make a run. But here's why I wouldn't go to Philly, David. That is potentially a very toxic place where something is amiss. I think Houston with C.J. Stroud and a good young team and a guy in D'Amico Ryans that is the opposite of Sirianni seems infinitely likable and a guy that players want to run through a wall for.
Well, I think if he goes to Houston, I think he becomes the main voice in the room right next to C.J. Stroud. They're going to lean on him because he's been in the league so long. Dave, who are the other teams?
The other teams are the Raiders, the Bears, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Texans.
So not the Cowboys.
I don't see the Cowboys on this report, but I've seen other reports.
Right, I've seen reports of the Cowboys. Saquon to the Cowboys would be interesting. For one, Mike, do you really want to see Saquon in your division? Or is it one of those where I never want to see him again? Or do you want to face him twice a year?
I don't give a damn.
Because you know it'll be personal for him.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. My team's garbage.
Because if he goes to the Cowboys, that's intriguing because of everything that they have going on there. You got the passing game. You got a quarterback.
Look, I know what you two are doing, and I respect both of you. You're trying to bait me into something. It's not happening.
David?
Houston has the most money to spend. It's the best landing spot.
You know what,
I know
David?
what you want, and I'm not giving it to you.
He's still in denial. Okay, next one.
He can go where he wants to go, but can either of you argue the best football situation is the Houston Texans?
Oh, no, it is Houston.
It is Houston.
They got the money. They could actually afford to pay him what he wants to make. If he goes to those other teams, he's going to have to take a pay cut.
Think about it. You get C.J. Stroud. You get Nico Collins, Tank Dell. You get a – that's where I'm going.
And they're all under contract. So I can go there, make a ton of money, and help this team win in a bad division. Yeah. It's smart, but watch out for the other team in Dallas. I mean, the other team in Texas.
So let's stay with the Philadelphia Eagles for a quick minute because I'm seeing something here, and we look things up, and we always see when they have stories of potential trade packages for a certain player. Usually there's a rumor out there that player may get moved. You know, Diggs in Buffalo. There's always a rumor out here that he might get dealt, or last year was Hopkins and things like that. Well, why am I seeing A.J. Brown's name being mentioned in trade packages for stories?
Because A.J. Brown, much like DK Metcalf, had a miserable season, demonstrative, angry. I got towards the end, the Eagles, I think.
Kind of like Diggs.
Yeah, A.J. Brown went like 5-6 weeks without a touchdown. Something isn't right. Now,
I don't know what happened to the Eagles, man. They just
complete toxicity.
Because I thought they were going to bounce back, but
oh, you like the reports how they tried to blame it on Dom DeSandro getting booted off the sidelines?
I was about to say that they never were the same after that Niner game. They just went into the toilet.
But no, the Diggs thing, here's what's interesting. Did you read today? Oh, Buffalo still believes Diggs is the number one receiver. I don't know what's going on because to me, Diggs, the only time they throw him the ball, line of scrimmage. And you go, what has happened to this relationship between Allen and Diggs? I can't figure it out.
Yeah. But I know a lot of receivers play the diva role, and I don't know if it's just them playing that part, if they're truly unhappy. But, yeah, you know what? You're right. DK Metcalf hated Seattle. Like, yeah. But A.J. Brown, yeah, the Eagles are broken.
Yeah, there's something
and
there.
We saw in the playoffs where Tampa was the favorite. Like, you knew Tampa was going to beat them.
See, but we talk about Diggs, we talk about something being broken. Are the Buffalo Bills broken?
Yes,
because
broken.
If they start losing, they release It felt like half their roster
Well,
yesterday.
they did. They released 6 players. Tre'Davious White being gone, their safeties being gone. I told you, Patrick Mahomes, if they didn't beat him this year, the Bills as we knew it were dead.
Yeah.
There's a complete retooling that has to happen now.
They have been bad. It's been slow and debilitating. And if you haven't been paying attention, it's like, oh, well, they'll bounce back. No, they're not. Allen, to me, overrated. And, yeah, good luck with that because if you notice, they just keep sliding down and down each year. They are the AFC Cowboys.
Yeah, they are. So we can close it out with this. I'm just going to give you 2 names that will be free agents, but what will their market be? Start with Jamal Adams and Odell Beckham Jr.
0 and 0. Both guys are losers. I mean, Jamal Adams.
I mean, I won't go with the loser part, but 0 and 0.
Oh, I will. Because the bottom line is Jamal Adams, ever since he bitched his way out of New York and complained, what has he done? Get hurt, get kicked out of games, play badly. He's a better blitzer.
Got Seattle to make a horrible trade.
He's a better blitzer than he is a safety. Well, I ain't paying you $18 million a year to rush passer. You're my strong safety. And as far as Odell, man, that one-handed grab against Cowboys was 11 years ago.
You're kidding me. Seriously?
Yeah.
He still thinks he's OBJ, but he's just Odell now.
And guess what? Oh, Lamar, I want to play with Lamar, and Lamar wants me. How'd that look in the playoff game? Goodbye.
You didn't know that he was the reason why Lamar came back to Baltimore?
Tournament.
Goodbye.
I know the NBA.
According to him.
They're both losers. You got a ton of ways to
I would
play.
say
I would
so.
say the market is 0 for
FanDuel
both.
promotion.
It
Hey,
makes
you know
the
what,
NBA
David?
a little bit more
Speaking of wide
interesting.
receivers,
No sweat, same
Michael,
FanDuel every Thursday
I sent you a text
on
and a
TNT
photo.
Thursdays, and you get bonus
certain
bets
wide
back.
receiver headed to
If
the
your same
pros
game
was
parlay
at the
doesn't
Breslin
win
Center last
on an NBA on
Yeah, I know.
TNT.
Keon Coleman.
Best
I
matchups.
don't understand it.
Really the best way to play
Don't be
the
telling
NBA
me this
without
was
saying
home.
betting sides and totals.
You bleeped on the floor and left the door open.
However
the
you
hell
wanna
outta
play,
here.
you head over to FanDuel.com.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself up there.
Ticket, you bet the NBA with a
What
no
a
sweat
collection
same
of
game
nonsense.
parlay with
So he did what the dog
Thursdays.
did.
That's
Yeah,
FanDuel.com.
that's right.
He had on a Steven Izzo jersey.
I don't care.
FanDuel.
That's all the folksy garbage you care about.
NBA 21 and up.
53-49. If I were Keon Coleman, I would have gone
Straight
straight back to Capital City Airport at halftime.
It expires 7 days after receipt.
And that is in football today.
Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117. All right, quick note. Divisionally speaking, Bears have paid Jalen Johnson, who's pretty awesome as a young corner, 4 years, $79 million. I don't know, like 59, 60 guaranteed. Whatever, who cares? He's a Bear. He ain't available. I don't think it impacts much of anything here. I want to talk Lions at 5 because I want to give Brad Holmes credit for something, and it's really all I ask as a fan. We'll get to it. One note on the Wings. We opened the show with it, Odyssey.com Rewind. We'll give you a couple minutes here. I'm not panicking. I know the teams looked like ass the last couple of nights. I get it. Florida's one of the best teams, if not the best team. Colorado, I'm not freaking out because big picture, if you told me you split with them, right, you're going to beat them at your place and they're going to beat you at theirs, you would have taken that. I'll only be concerned, panicked, whatever you want to call it, if they don't beat Arizona and then they get beat by Vegas. Now you're talking about a 5-game losing streak. Now that's different. As it pertains to the trade deadline, which is less than 24 hours away, I also would like to assure you, I am not going to be the guy yelling and screaming about they must do something because I don't think there's anything to do. There is no name that exists that is going to make them tangibly better at a cost that you would find remotely acceptable. And what I have never asked Steve Yzerman to do is do stupid stuff or desperate stuff. He did what I wanted him to do this summer, bringing in DeBrincat, and then all of his balanced, rotational, if you will, signings made sense. The team's in a little bit of a rough patch. You knew regression was coming. You're not just going to go win 10, 12 games in a row. Rico, I sit here. I don't expect anything to get done. I think if they could, Hull or Petrie would be gone to create room for Edvinson. But beyond that, we talked earlier, the market for some of the players that would make a difference. And I don't know what that means, Rico. Does it mean they win a series? Like, I don't even know.
It's almost where's your expectation? If you think you're going to win the cup, then you're going to have to.
That's different.
Right.
Right.
But if your goal is to make the playoffs and maybe win a first-round series, how much is that worth to you? And could you get that done with the younger players without having to make a deal?
And look at the Hannafin deal. Player Kenny really liked. I mean, that was a first, a second, a third, a fifth, a this, a that. I go, I'm not doing that for a guy that may not re-sign. So I'm willing to roll with this crew. They'll get Larkin back here in roughly 10 days. That would be the hope. As long as they make the playoffs, you're not going to hear me complain. I think they can make it and be feisty. But, Rico, I will tell you, this is where it gets dicey. If I'm sitting here telling the listener that I don't need them to make a trade, I've always wanted them to, but I understand if they don't because I think the market is stupid, and Kenny certainly helps with that. You know, I like to ping Kenny on certain geeky trades and go, Ken, that feels like a lot. If they don't make the playoffs, all hell breaks loose. Because that's where, I'm sorry, people do not get to defend Iser plan and all that stuff. They got to make it. They've come too far not to finish this deal. 82-game season, it's all right if you got a 3-game stretch where you look like idiots. Mm-hmm. Beat Phoenix on a back-to-back. Let's just get this thing back on the tracks, please. Yeah. But, I mean, is that a reasonable way to approach the deadline here? Are we all okay with that?
Yeah, it's reasonable. Yeah, because you're thinking you'll get back right playing Phoenix, then playing Vegas. You'll win. You'll forget about the patch. You'll be okay. I don't think anybody there's a few people who I think have maybe downgraded their car flag status. Remember, we were going, 1 through 5. You had a couple of 5 saying, hey, we're going for the cup. I think a lot of people during that win streak was 4. We're in the playoffs. Maybe a handful of people are backing it down saying, well, okay, maybe we got full of ourselves. I don't know, Kenny. This is you.
This is you.
No, I agree largely with what you said, Mike. And I think right now the Coyotes game really is going to tell me something, because if you look like clowns on a back-to-back against a team that's on a back-to-back that isn't any good in a building that's going to be filled with primarily your fans, if you look like clowns in that game, then I'm going to start to hear the alarm bells.
Yeah, concern.
Exactly. We have Vegas after that, but our road to the playoffs, our road out after that is pretty reasonably, it's doable. A lot of those games are against teams that are either rebuilding or out of the playoff picture entirely. So that's going to help you down the stretch. I think Stevie knows that, and I think he probably, if I had to guess what will happen is I think he will ship out a Hull, maybe Augustus Bear. I know that sucks for the power play, but bear with me. And then bring up Edvinson, the thing we've all been begging for. Make sure defense, the one thing you struggle with, tangibly
and
better.
it's another core player.
Exactly.
It's a guy that you view as part of that, the Raymonds of the world and the DeBrinkets and the Larkins. Like Edvinson is the next piece of that with Sider. I know that that's not the explosive deadline we all dream of, but sometimes it's just not there. Like there's no move to make. I mean, Kenny, I asked you earlier, I said, buddy, give me a name that is both available and a difference maker that you could really go and get that would tangibly change the trajectory of the franchise. I don't think that player's there.
Yeah, you either get one or the other. It's either available or it makes you tangibly better, but you can't have both in this situation unless you want to way overspend for like a Jake Gensel type.
Right, but this summer,
yes,
you will have that opportunity, and I think that's where they'll go. So if you want the more long-form discussion, Odyssey.com rewind. I want to talk Lions, and I want to give Brad Holmes credit for something. And I want to explain to people, because in living color, Rico, you had this idea, and you're right. But it is all about why I don't accept less, because Brad Holmes did everything I could ask. I am not mad if it doesn't work out. I'll explain what that means. We'll do it next. 97.1. 5 o'clock. Great to have you with us. Odyssey.com rewind. You missed anything. I want to give an example to you guys of all I need to generally be happy when it comes to Brad Holmes or Scott Harris specifically. USA Today or Dave Burkett reporting the Lions were one of 6 teams to reach out and check in on L'Jarius Sneed, the Chiefs' all-pro corner. And what I have always said is this: I will never get mad if a player doesn't want to be here, if the cost of acquisition is absurd, or if it just doesn't work out. But I do get angry. And it's been more directed at Scott Harris because of this whole, like, we're the smartest people in the room. No, we're not. We're not calling on Chapman or JD or any of these players who could help you. No, we're going to go and have Frankenstein at third base. That bothers me. It really does. And what I said is, do I want L'Jarius Sneed? Well, of course I do. Am I willing to give up 2 first-round picks? Absolutely not. But as long as you show me you are going to explore every avenue in a quest to do the unthinkable, which is to win a Super Bowl in Detroit, I'm good. And Rico brought this to me pre-show about, Mike, this is what you talk about. Are you good with this? And I went, yes. I can't ask anymore. Now, at some point, you're going to have to reach out and sign someone.
Right.
But as long as I know they're touching the table on elite players, I'm cool, Rico. Like, I'm not able to be upset.
Yeah, and if all of a sudden you realize that, you know what, we could probably get 2 or 3 players for the price of this one for Sneed. Okay, fine. You did the cost evaluation. You said, you know what, we'll go the other direction. And for those who always say, well, how do you know that they're not working behind the scenes? Right here. This is how. Because I love getting those. You guys don't know that they're not asking. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Because multiple reports are saying the Lions are interested in L'Jarius Sneed. Whether it comes from him or his agent or the team, this type of news gets out. So when you hear nothing or you don't hear your team's name mentioned, it's because they did not pick up the phone.
Yeah, but you can't talk to people who are bathwater drinkers. You can't talk to people who just won't accept that reality. So, like, what you said is spot on. Let's say you could sign Kendall Fuller and Quandre Diggs for the same cost or damn near the same as Sneed. Yeah, that's probably the move. But if you reach out and you see what the situation is, you've done your job.
Because a lot of times you often wonder, how do the teams that are really good keep getting all of these other players? Because they just reached out and said how much. Player said that price. All right, we can do that. It's not breaking the bank.
So my question to you, the Lions fan, is this. Don't get hung up on the specific name, but is it encouraging to you that in the fallout from the receipts press conference, where it sounded like Brad Holmes, wanted to curb expectations of a bold offseason, does it encourage you that a few weeks later, the Lions are one of a handful of teams that have at least called to inquire about L'Jarius Sneed? Not so you acquire Sneed, because I think the cost of acquisition is going to be, it borders on exorbitant. But as a bit of a guiding light here, that they are going to be aggressive, that they are going to do some things. And maybe it won't be the player you personally love, but it'll be players that make them better. Now, look, did I understand bringing back Emmanuel Mosley when he played all of 2 defensive snaps last year? Not really. But I'll wait to see the contract. We haven't seen terms. I mean, if he's back and it's incentive-laden, and if he even makes the team off another ACL, right, I can't be mad at it. Like, I'm sure they're going to bring Vildor back. But if Vildor's here as a 4th corner, what am I going to say? Nothing. I have no problem. I'm encouraged by this. Maybe it's because I have inherent bias, and I'm encouraged because it's what I want to happen. Mm-hmm. But I am. I really wondered if we would ever get a report that they even bothered. The fact that they did, tip of the cap. I'm good with it.
The fact that they did, and it doesn't seem like just it was an initial phone call. Looks like they may have followed it up. You know, Burkett was on with Carson Anderson. And it made it feel like the Lions were seriously considering this, or at least weighing out the pros and cons. And that's really all you could ever ask of your GM, because it means you're being aggressive. When you hear, it adds credibility to when Brad Holmes says, we're going to go out there and be very aggressive in the free agent market. Yeah, that's what that is right there. If you heard nothing, now you're sitting there wondering, okay, what is he doing? Like, we wanted them to be aggressive at the trade deadline. They did. They didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to do any of the trades that we wanted, hence the chair drop. But now it seems as if maybe they got a little more of a taste of success and realized we got to do it with more than just the people in this building. We need to bring in some outside folks. I know the Lions want to take care of their own, but you're not going to get over the top unless you bring in some stud players to help this team. 248-539-9797.
The other thing is with Jalen Johnson signing just under $20 million a year, Snead's going north of that. So you just have to be ready for something like 5 at 95, where it's front loaded and a boatload of guaranteed money. 4 at 80 something. But I don't think it's where they'll go. I like that they inquired. I like the fact that they at least tried. That's all I ever asked. I never got upset, and I never got attached to any one player. But I just think it's embarrassing, quite honestly, what the Tigers have done with all that money coming off the payroll. And they're sitting there $55 million below league average. And then they act all smug. Oh, no. We're not calling any of those people. What, like JD Martinez couldn't change the trajectory of this thing? Like you couldn't touch the table for a Gold Glove third baseman who had the worst year of his life with a bad finger, 3 at 54? The idea that you're above that? Nah, that bothered me. Now, if I got a report and it was, hey, Tigers reached out, Matt Chapman said, I'd rather die than play in Detroit, what am I going to do? I'm not going to get mad. But at least I know Brad Holmes is trying.
Right. Or if he asks, you know what, I'm going to need $30 million a year. Okay, well, probably not going to happen.
At least you know now because you talked to him.
That's it. And again, the Snead thing, once they put the non-exclusive and once it involved multiple first-round pick compensation, no, it's probably too great a cost. The only way you can do it is if you truly believe, with zero doubt, this player, based on our scheme, based on what we are, this player absolutely makes us a championship caliber, not a participation award, a championship caliber team. I still don't know that I do it. I've told you, the first-round draft pick, at 29, I probably got a weird take on it compared to most people who are thinking about corners and edges. I'm probably taking an O-lineman. I'm going to take what I deem to be the elite center guard combo at the end of the first, play him at the left guard,
I would
have
say
Glasgow at right, and I got insurance for Ragnow.
At 29, you've earned the right to do the whole best player available.
Yes.
That this is where, if you're at the top of the draft, you got a need. You're at 29, you got maybe a few things that you could do to get your team over the top. And if the top player on your board is an offensive lineman, take him. If the top player on your board that's still there is, heck, if you tell me their top player is a wide receiver, okay, your team's deep. Fine, go get a wide receiver. It means you could probably let go of some of your people that you have. That's why I'm not really – I'd like for them to get some defensive help on the defensive line with that pick 29. I have no idea who's going to fall because, Mike, as you know, every year, especially with so many wide receivers and so many quarterbacks and offensive linemen, a lot of the defensive players are going to slide. And you're going to be like, wow, this guy is still available? I thought he would have been drafted with the 12th pick or so, and here he is sitting there at pick 29. Or, you get that Brian Branch thing where he's in the second round. Many mock drafts last year had him in the first round.
Like I think Holmes has drafted clearly well enough. You want to empower him, but you do have 4 of the top 100 picks. You do have an idea you're going to be really good again. Not all first-round picks are created equal. You're picking at 29. That's a second-round pick to me.
Because what I'm thinking at pick 29.
So I do understand if people go, hey, F them picks. If I can get L'Jarius Sneed, I'm doing it. I see both sides to it.
Or pick 29. You're sitting right there at the cusp of the first round that a team who didn't take one of those first quarterbacks still wants that extra year on a quarterback. And now they'll trade you multiple second-round picks or something else because they want to jump up and grab Bo Nix. They want to jump up and grab Michael Penix.
I want to hear from the people on it. You encouraged about the Lions reaching out? Does it give you faith they're going to have a bigger offseason than maybe what you thought just a few days ago? 248-539-9797. David, a few ticket texts. Get to the calls momentarily.
Snead, to the Texans makes sense. They have the money, draft capital, but I am glad the Lions called about Snead.
Like, isn't that just the minimum you need as a fan to know your team's trying? Mm-hmm. Like, that's part of my angst with my team. Out of all these teams, how the hell have the New York Giants not at least inquired about Justin Fields? Or David's team? Like, David and I talk about it all the time. The Steelers are sitting there, and it's like, wait, you're going to flirt with Russell Wilson. How could you not pick up the phone and at least call on Fields?
The only way that works is that there are certain GMs that just like to move in silence, and they don't say anything, but then all of a sudden, wow, okay, they're working. If you could pull something like that off and you're that type of GM, yes, but most GMs are not. So, yeah, you want to hear that you're kicking the tires. If average fan sees the deficiencies on your team, you know, they have to. And it's like, well, if your fan wants to go out and look for this quarterback, what are you doing? To give them some type of information of saying, hey, we don't think he's going to fit here.
If I could do a pick swap with the Chiefs, if I could trade him, if I could trade him 29 and get back like a 4th-round pick, if I will always tell you, yes, I will go after the best player. I do believe L'Jarius Sneed, who basically 70% of the time lined up against other teams' number ones, only gave up more than 2 catches once, only gave up a touchdown as the closest man in coverage. Ready? The first one he gave up all year, divisional round of the playoffs. He's the guy who made the huge play against the Ravens to poke the ball loose. Mm-hmm. He's a winner. This dude's a winner. I would. I've said it to you. Like, if pick 29 has to be in play, I would do it. But at least they called. At least they're trying. It gives me faith that maybe it's not this move, but they're going to bring a big-time player. And I've said it. I disagree with John about a lot of stuff, but I thought Jansen has brought a very intriguing name to the table, and it's Christian Wilkins. Show me. But they got to make a major addition on defense because that second half against San Francisco, that can never happen again. 248-539-9797. Rico, talk to him.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone. It's where anybody, even you, can go and work out, and you don't have to worry about people making fun of you because you haven't been in the gym in a long time. Planet Fitness is the gym for you. It will fit your lifestyle, and it will help you achieve your fitness goals. It's very simple. You head into your local Planet Fitness right now, and they have a special sale for $1 down. You can get the Black Card membership. It's $24.99 a month, but you got to hurry because this deal ends soon. What comes with the Black Card membership, you get everything with your normal Planet Fitness membership, plus you get unlimited access to the hydro massage chairs, total body enhancements, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide with unlimited guest privileges. And if you say, you know what, I'm a little short on time, don't worry about it. You can get a full body workout in just 30 minutes on the Planet Fitness 30-minute circuit. And all Planet Fitness memberships include fitness training at no extra cost. So head into your local Planet Fitness right now. $1 down. This sale ends March 15th. $1 down, and you can get a Black Card membership for just $24.99 a month. You got to hurry because this deal ends soon, or you can go online at planetfitness.com.
In an instant, an auto accident can put you in the worst financial position of your life. You have got to hire the right lawyer who's going to make sure the insurance companies pay what they owe you. It's injury attorney David Feminino. Him and his team, they've been making insurance companies pay for 30 years. They can help you with your case as well. And David is ready to speak to you personally right now. If you call 855-65-CRASH or you go to that website, getdavidgetpaid.com. That's Dave Burkett. He joined the midday show. They talked briefly about it. Listen, you know my thoughts. If it's pick 29, I get back a later round pick, would I do it? No, I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks. That's just a no-go. But the contract doesn't bother me. Never has. Me and Rico are aligned on this deal. But I'm just happy Brad Holmes has reached out. I'm glad the Lions are at least kicking the tires. That's all I ask. So for all the Scott bots or all the Brad bots, no, I'll never make fun of it if it doesn't work. But if you're not trying, I think you have a right to be upset as a fan. They at least are doing exploratory work. I'm good with it. That lets me know, all right, we're in the mix. Let's go to the people, see what they have to say. Go to Casey, 97.1. What's up, Case?
Good afternoon, fellas.
How are you?
I think we all have to be happy that they're finally doing what we've been wanting them to do for years and reaching out for the big fish. I mean, they're finally, it feels like we have people that are comfortable to be sitting at, the final table, like you do for a poker analogy, and you're going to have to see the turn to know if you have if you want to go for it, and otherwise you're going to get blinded out, which it feels like they have in the past. You don't know what the asking price is unless you ask, and you have to use that. Even if you don't go for that particular player, you have to know what that is to go for the next one, just to see where the market's at.
No, I agree. You got to ask the question, because this is where you find out, oh, it's not as bad as we thought. Or you know what? Well, too rich for our blood. Thank you. We'll get back with you. But we're really not.
Because how many times in the past have we been like, that's all it took to get that player?
Exactly.
Like, you never know. He might, because we're getting to the point now where free agents and even players in this situation, there's going to be some people that are going to finally start to want to come and play here, because
yes,
we were a play or two away from being in the Super Bowl, and would have had a fighter's chance in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, because
and not only that, but they also saw how the fan base was, and like, wow, this city is up and coming. It's electric. It's ready to be that it city, and maybe I want to be a part of that.
Yeah, the iron is hot, and we got to make a splash somewhere in free agency. If this was too much, I mean, the picks is just probably the biggest thing here. Is they're probably asking for too much. Hopefully it's not the contract.
Well, here's something we can add to it. This is Diana Rossini, who was on a podcast with the Athletic with Robert Mays. This is a quote regarding Snead. I do think he winds up getting traded, and I think the fact that we're seeing several teams show interest, the conversations I've been having over the last few days, the way this is going to come together, the agents are working with the team. It's collaborative. The effort here is to get something done, which tells you that's why they're willing to do it. They're in on it. They're trying to get as much as they can for him. Now, here's what's interesting. Mays asked, what's the eventual price tag? 2 weeks ago, the thought was max is they'll get a 2. Now, Diana Rossini says, quote, a first for sure. That was shared. The Chiefs understand the value. They really like him as a player, she said. But they also know the value they're going to be able to get for him. It's going to be for a team that thinks this is worth it at this point. I have a feeling it'll be a lot. So again, this is the question. Pick 29. It's not just a pick. Look at what I've talked about. If they let Jonah Jackson walk in free agency, which I would do. I'm not going to pay Jonah Jackson $10, $11 million, which is going to be the going rate for a good run blocking guard. I'm going to let him go. I'll keep Glasgow. Glasgow's more versatile and cheaper. Pick 29, you could draft Jonah Jackson's replacement and have that player for 5 years. And it's insurance for Ragnow. That's value. There's a real value there that if you trade that pick, yes, you get Snead, but it's the acquisition cost. So I understand both sides. I lean towards doing it because this man is 26 rather. And he's an all-pro. He plays your style of ball. He's a pit bull. He hits. He shuts down people. And he comes from a defense that plays a ton of man and blitzes a ton. Sound familiar?
Yeah. Here. It would work out perfectly. Now, you would still need to go get a few more players. I don't think he's the end-all, be-all, which is why I said you may find out we may be able to get 2 or 3 players instead of this one and really solidify this defense.
And I wasn't being sarcastic earlier when I said I'd absolutely call Quandre Diggs.
Yeah.
1-year deal, cheap, disenfranchised from the Seahawks. He's a dog. He never should have been given away. I'd bring him in cheap. I'd rather have him at half the cost of C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Well, good news for you on that because he's a safety. I did read a report today that GMs around the league believe that the safety market will be depressed. So you may be able to get him on a really nice, cheap deal.
The guy I just wish would just shut up and play ball, and if he could stay healthy. Jamal Adams, when he came out, he could have been anything he wanted to be. Man, he is falling apart. I'll be interested. And again, the Giants have Xavier McKinney on the non-exclusive. I'm just hoping nobody offers him like $15 a year. Otherwise, you got to say goodbye. Let's go to Brian, 97.1. Brian, how you doing?
You know, Mike, here's the thing. So when you heard that they were, in the mix, for lack of a better term, reaching out, seeing what the cost would potentially be to bring Snead in, I think makes me hugely optimistic. One, like you said, wow, we're actually in these conversations now where you never used to hear that. And two, shows me that Holmes, not that he wouldn't have, but, hey, this is our need. This is our biggest hole. Shows me that he's actually going to do something to try to fill this hole. If he's reaching out about Snead, arguably going to be the most expensive guy that you can get your hands on in terms of what it's going to take to get him here. Not expensive meaning capital, not money, although probably that too. But it shows if he's willing to reach out with that, well, you'd expect that there's going to be some kind of move made regarding a cornerback, whether it's in the draft or free agency or trade or something. I'd be very, very surprised if between now and the start of the season, they have not signed or done something for someone who looks like that they're going to be your number one starter. I'd be very surprised.
Where do you stand with it? I mean, would you pay the freight for Snead, or do you want to pursue other options?
I mean, like, you're talking the freight, if you're saying 2 first-round picks?
Now, let's just say it was pick 29, and you got to sign him. Let's just, for fun, we'll say 5 at 95.
All day. I don't care about the money. You can figure that out later.
My man. Yeah, Brian, I'm with you there.
I mean, you can move money around. Like, any player on that team will move money around to bring in L'Jarius Snead. You know what I mean? Like guys will do it. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, and here's the other thing.
I'm not going to do that. 29, I think I agree with you guys. It's a really good value pick. I think 29 is where you're really not pigeonholing yourself into a position. That's more of a BPA type thing. I mean, yeah, positional value and need does matter, but if you're sitting at 29, like you said, even like a receiver, if like a big X-bodied receiver is there that you got really high on your board at 29, and you're like, God, this guy's our guy. You take him. Or like you said, I've said repeatedly, depending who else is there, if you got your highest ranked, center that can also probably play guard, you don't hesitate. I mean, Frank Ragnall's falling apart, and I love the guy, but what's he got, 2-3 years tops left in him?
Listen,
tops?
Brian, this could be it this year. I mean, when a guy says he's got to take time to contemplate his future at the end of a season, and he's decided to come back, Brian, I wouldn't be shocked if this is the swan song.
Yeah, and I mean, he's as tough as they come, but you read about all his injuries he's playing through, and you're just like, wow, you can't keep coming back from that. No. The fact that he had to contemplate it coming off this season, where they finally had a really, really good season, I mean, this might be it. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I mean, Brian, that's the other thing. Fans don't realize the season ends and we all go on with our lives. The offseason begins for most NFL players with surgeries. And I know I can already hear some of you, well, that's what they do. Guys, they're men, they're not
I
machines.
was about to say, yeah, surgeries happen like the next day.
And it's things
Season's
you never
over
heard about.
at the doctor.
Yeah, and it's not rare for guys to have multiple surgeries.
Oh, wow, that's why he wasn't tackling that hard. Yes, his arm was falling off.
Right.
It was held together with chewing gum and duct tape.
His pec was Velcroed to his body. So, no, there's a cost there.
No, it is. I was just looking this up because I forgot that the Texans got a draft pick from the Cleveland Browns because I was thinking.
They got the bonus pick.
Well, the Texans can't go after Snead because they don't have any first-round picks because they gave it to Arizona. But they
remember, it's all picks aren't the same. I just look.
They got picked 23.
Yeah. You're getting in a range, though. Where did the Chiefs, and then I know we got to run, where did the Chiefs take McDuffie? Was that 21? I thought they moved up to get McDuffie, who's now a Pro Bowler, right? So for the people who go, well, look, I don't want to deal 29 and spend $100 million. I'd rather take some capital, move up, let Holmes select a corner he loves. Mm-hmm. I get that too. I just don't think you're getting the player you want at 29.
Yeah, they got him at 21, traded up to New England's spot to get him.
God, I'm a nerd.
So they were originally at 29 and then traded it up.
So it's either move up and get the player you covet or go get the ready-made product. Look, either way, this is why I get excited about the offseason. So, all right. March, buckets, FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Yes, the tourney around the corner. $150 in bonus bets. Any winning $5 bet. It's $150 if your bet wins. And whether it's SGPs, props, whatever it is, FanDuel.com/ticket. That's FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. 21 and up, present Michigan. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued. Non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. You got a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117. We talk about Northville Lumber all the time, the oldest company in the state, largest Trex decking outlet in the country. Nobody stocks more. Nobody sells more. Trex decking, lumber, railing, lighting, you name it, they got it. And it's all in stock in their warehouse right down the street. They moved enough product last year to cover 26 football fields. All you need to do, whether you're a builder or do-it-yourselfer, is get with Northville Lumber, and they will introduce you to a Trex certified pro. So beat the price increase in the spring rush. Get to Northville Lumber now. They'll take care of business and get it done right. Call Northville Lumber today or go to northvillelumber.com. That's northvillelumber.com. All right, David, some ticket text. Odyssey.com rewind. You missed anything? Pumped up lines, at least checked in on L'Jarius Sneed. Mission accomplished. It's all I need from Brad Holmes. Wish Scott Harris would have taken the same advice. We talked a little bit about a lot, quite frankly. So full show will be podcasted post haste. And David, what do we got? Talk to me.
Doug from Troy says, yes, I was very encouraged by Detroit reaching out on Sneed. This is what bothered me last year on Sweat and Young, not even calling. This gives me hope.
Yes.
Sign a free agent defensive lineman or corner, but make calls on them. Move up if needed to get the best versatile inside linebacker in the draft. Or sorry, lineman in the draft.
Yeah.
Not linebacker, sorry.
Yeah, and that's where, listen, and again, I think John has made a great point with it, and I agree with it. I think Christian Wilkins, next to Aleem McNeil, That's dirty. That's dirty. And Wilkins, the word I would use to describe him is active.
Mm-hmm.
Tom in Flat Rock says, you try to make the move, and if they pull a Gronk and say, well, I'm going to retire, well, at least you tried, and I can respect that.
That's it.
Yeah.
I know you're
I
trying.
forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. Smartest movie ever made.
Yeah, it is. You have to remember we have probably 5 to 6 wide receivers and 4 quarterbacks coming off before us. So it's a juiced up overall 29th pick.
To a point. But what we'll never know, and what we might get some foreshadowing. Remember, just because positionally you think, hey, things we need will fall to us, that doesn't mean Brad Holmes loves those players. What Holmes has done is identify who he loves, and he'll go and get them.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean who he wants will be there. Look, Jahmyr Gibbs, they were thinking about taking him at 6 once Witherspoon was off the board. There was no thought to him being there at 18. They said, we're going to go get him at 12. We'll take him. Jack Campbell, same deal. A lot of people, myself included. Now, Jack Campbell's the one pick where I'm not going to make fun of it, but of the 4, he was the weak link. I mean, Gibbs was a star. Branch looks awesome. Laporta might be the best tight end in football as we start the year next year.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Campbell, I need a little more. But the point is, he'll take who he wants, and people can just, bleep off. And
yeah,
that's fine.
It felt very old school. Like you're getting a running back and a linebacker that
Felt like
doesn't go side to side.
Felt like 1990.
Yeah.
Felt weird.
But again,
Iowa's best.
what, tight ends and linebackers?
Well, yeah, that's probably why they took him, because he was a linebacker from Iowa. But I was just like, this guy is linebacker of the year. Like, yeah, did you see him play?
And it can still work out. He can still turn out to be something, but
I guess.
Relax.
we got receipts too.
David, stop.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I always go overboard.
Come on.
It's almost the end of the day. I shouldn't do that.
Wings have just traded for Owen Nolan. Kenny and I, I'm sorry, during the break, Kenny and I were basically playing NHL 94 over here.
Evgeny Nabokov's coming to town.
Oh, that's another.
Yes.
That's a great name.
Pat Falloon? All right, let's keep it moving.
Read one more, and then we'll get to Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Sign Wilkins and trade for Mack, and the D-line is suddenly terrifying.
Yeah, it would be, wouldn't it? It would be, wouldn't it? Look, next week's going to be a hell of a lot of fun because one way or the other, you're going to see players signing, and they're either coming here or not, and we get to talk about it. Rieger, I hear the background. You're with us?
Oh, that's right. Out here at Little Caesars Arena, we got a big one against the Nets. By the way, I heard the Wings traded for Jeremy Roenick. Any truth to that one?
There's my guy. All right. Listen, I have something for you since you're previewing a Pistons game.
Oh, yeah. What do you got?
Jaden Ivey his last 7 games. What do you think he is from three-point land? Here's a hint. He's taken 51 of them.
51 threes. I think he hit 17.
9 for 51.
Ooh, that's not good.
Look,
I give him too much credit.
Close.
Riggs, they can't play together. They got to trade one of Cade or Ivy. They can't play together.
Yeah, but will they?
Oh, I don't care. Troy Weaver, forget about it. I mean, please. I may as well have Toons as the driving cat
I'm
running
just
the
saying, I think
organization.
Cade will draw you more back in draft picks and capital.
And
I don't know if you guys are following.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to draft Reed Shepard. Get aboard.
Sure. I was looking at that the other day. I think you might have brought this up, the mock drafts for the NBA. The comps are insane. There's not one almost like Miles Bridges, I think, is one of the comps. Maybe Jaren Jackson is the best comp for the top guy that
they got the guy at number 2, and he's like a 7-foot kid from France, and they're like, the comp, Rafe LaFrance, the late years. You're like, all right, yeah. I'm out. Austin
Rafe
Crozier.
Kansas own.
Yes. So right. What are you previewing? What are we talking about here?
We're going to do a little L'Jarius Sneed as well. I got a little bit of a different take because I know how Lions fans reacted to when, and it wasn't never going to happen, but on the off chance that Chris Jones became available, he would take, $30 million a year. Lions fans freaked out about that. They're like, nah, absolutely not. We're not spending our money on that. That's just too much. I wonder if the asking rate for a L'Jarius Sneed scares off anybody. A second-round pick and probably over $20 million a year.
Upgrade that to pick 29, and that's the topic we talked about. It doesn't scare me, but I understand if they don't. But would I if Snead showed interest in being here now? That's a critical element.
He's got to sign an extension, of course.
Right. But, yeah, man, he's awesome. He's truly an awesome difference-making corner.
But by the way, can I ask a quick question before you guys go?
Of course.
I'm driving down the lodge, listening to your fine program. Whose dog did a number 2 in The Office?
Don't know.
And
no, I don't know.
Oh, really?
It was well, you know why I don't know? Because there was no human next to it. It was an unsupervised animal that dropped a grumpy right in the middle of our office.
Like, shouldn't somebody call animal control and then somebody else should get to adopt that dog, I feel?
No, we should probably just have a policy where you can't bring your dog if you're not going to watch it.
I've never brought my dog. You ever bring your dogs to work?
Years ago during a Tiger Day game. But guess what? They featured something. It was called a leash.
Mike's dogs have class.
Your dogs don't really do anything. They just sit right there.
They're awesome.
Well, I heard Kenny's. There were some ducks in the office, like literally.
I know, and we just got an office-wide email. There's going to be ostrich races here next Thursday. It's like the county fair.
Can we bet on them?
No. Rieger's coming up next.
I'm about to say, Rieger, you would lose if you did.
Rico, enjoy your vacation. The Godfather joining us tomorrow. Mike Stone. We'll have another edition of Stoney by the Numbers.
Mike and Mike.
It's going to be entertaining than the last iteration of Mike and Mike, that's for sure. That show on ESPN sucked. All right, we'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
Wow.